All right, hello everybody, and welcome in here to the city they call Top City. We are in Topeka, Kansas, a place that I've been calling home for the last little bit as I'm going to college at Washburn University. As the Cardinals will be playing their final game of the season here. It's a doubleheader, girls and then boys, taking on two really powerful teams here that represent the Hayden Catholic Wildcats. This is a seriously strong school. If you'll remember back to the football season, the boys' season began against them, and the Wildcats won that one 35-7, a very comfortable win. But the history of this matchup, only a couple years worth of it, is very intriguing and tells you we are in for a seriously great matchup of basketball. Hayden, do you want to tell us more about that here on the pregame show?
Yeah, absolutely. Coming into it, particularly on the girls' side, a little bit of history between these two teams. If you've been watching in the recent years over here on the Eudora channel, you'd think we play these teams pretty often. They have played in the last 2 years. Last season, the game in Eudora went in favor of the Cards 45-39, and the game that was played the year before that in Hayden went as a 1-point win for the Hayden Wildcats. So it's been a relatively close matchup. If you go beyond those two, as far back as we've got data, which goes back 19 years, I can't find another matchup between these two teams. So didn't play a whole lot, but every time they have played in the last 2 years, they have been phenomenal games both on the guys and girls side. Girls come in 1-1, won the game at home, lost the game on the road. The only team ranked above the Lady Cardinals in Kansas 4A is Wellington at 17-1. The Hayden Lady Wildcats are ranked third in 4A, behind only the 17-1 Eudora Cardinals and Wellington as well. So looking to be a really, really good matchup coming into this one. These teams are prolific. The ladies team averages a whopping for the Wildcats, a whopping 57 points per game. That's their offensive average. The average for the Lady Cardinals sits just over 47 points a game. So extremely prolific offense. They both allow right around 30 to 35 points a game on the defensive side. So looks to be a pretty evenly matched, really intriguing matchup.
Yeah, in the rankings, we have got 2 versus 3 here. This is almost like a regular season championship game. I mean, it is.
Very much so.
And thankfully, the Cardinals don't have to worry about that. They've already taken the Frontier League title, going undefeated in their league season, which just shows you how powerful they are and why they come in expected, I suppose you would say, to get the win, but not really. I don't know if you could say that in a 2 versus 3. They're just the team that's ranked higher, but it will be a really close game, and either team could come out on top. And as long as it's not a landslide, I think that whichever team loses this one could come out still feeling very good about themselves for having had an amazing season. If the Wildcats win, it would be their 20th win on the year, and the Cardinals would be fighting to get their 18th win on the year and maintain only having beaten once this season, which is something that sets Topeka apart, or rather Hayden, is that they won their tournament. It was a tournament that took place in Emporia, and they did come out of the champions of that tournament. That is the Cardinals' only loss, was a tournament championship, which meant until yesterday with that win against Lewisburg, they didn't have anything tangible, but they have solidified that Frontier League title. They are champions, and they will have a great postseason ahead of them, and this is a great, a chance to maybe sharpen their blade as they go into the postseason. They are taking on easily their toughest opponent all season long. I don't think that there's any question about that.
Absolutely.
And they're going to have to prove that they deserve that ranking 1 spot higher in the 4A standings. We will go to a break here on the pregame show. Thank you for tuning in. You are in the right place for Cardinals basketball here in Topeka.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community. With all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve, Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jean's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jean's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Gene's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Gene's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com. Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com. The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with our delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
All right, back in here about 4.5 minutes away from tip-off. Some more scouting report looking at this Hayden team. They started this season 13-0 before they tasted defeat for their first time. And just looking at all their different stats, they average, Hayden, 57 points a game this season. They only average allowing 31.1. So the Cardinals will have their work cut out for them if they are to get to that magic number of 50 that we've set, or they have set throughout this season, where that's been their number. If they get 50, that they've played their game, they've done what they want to do on offense, and if they do that, then they will be one of very few teams to get the better of Hayden's defense on this season. They are seriously an amazing team, and it's going to be tough, but the fact that they've split the series, and also just looking ahead to the next matchup, the boys have beaten them both times the last 2 years, but only by extremely narrow margins. So it just shows you we are in for such a good matchup here tonight. I mean, we could easily see overtime or a buzzer beater, just like we got to see yesterday, by the way, in the game against Lewisburg. I want to say thank you to Brendan Boland for helping cover that one, and good job, Hayden, joining him on the mic there.
Absolutely.
That was a special moment that Ryan Osborne got to get the winner for the boys game in that one, and the girls clinched the Frontier League title. So truly great times for the Cardinals, and it could be another special moment here, or it could be a heartbreaking moment. But either way, we expect that you are in for a really good game here that should have a fun conclusion and be fun all the way throughout.
So yeah, I think as basketball fans, outside of, beyond being Eudora fans, as basketball fans, it looks like we were almost guaranteed for a classic tonight, right? This is both of these matchups really in this doubleheader. We could be in for two absolutely incredible games. The last two games for the boys on the Hayden side have been decided by a combined total of 6 points. That's it for two games. So, as you said, it's going to be a really, really fun one to watch. And ladies are up first. We'll look forward to covering the action here with you. 2:30 on the clock right now. And
you said that when Hayden score over 50 points, that they're undefeated on the season. Is that right here?
Yep. When they've scored over 50 points, they have not lost yet. Their only two losses on the year, to Mays South and to Manhattan. The Mays South game they lost 48-50, and the Manhattan game they lost 47-50. So every time that they have touched 50,
so it might just be a race to 50 points today.
Right. Every time that they have topped 50 points, they've allowed 50 in losses. Very few, but they have. But this entire year, when they score 50 points or more, haven't lost a single game. When they score under it, even if just by 2 points, haven't been able to get it done.
So the Cardinals defense will have to be on point here. It's going to be a matter of taking away possessions, getting the loose ball, and also a matter of mistakes. We saw against Spring Hill, such a strong Spring Hill team. They just could not get out of their own way, and the Cardinals didn't have to play perfect to win that one. That might be a little bit different story today here. They might need to be exactly the best version of the Cardinals, putting up that 50 and maybe then some. But the defensive presences, that's players like Hannah Keltner, Izzy Brunkow, Ava Dye, those are going to be really big, and also just things like travels or carries or errant passes or offensive fouls, those are going to loom really, really large, because the extra possessions are going to be what decides this one, or the scoreless possessions, however you want to look at that.
Yeah.
Those are going to be the determiner here, because both of these teams know how to convert when they do have the ball in their hands. And so whenever they have the ball taken out of their hands, it's going to be the big moments here in this one. Let's listen into the PA here as we'll get starting lineups coming up shortly.
Introducing the starting lineups for today's game. First, our visitors from Eudora. At 5'7", a senior, number 3, Hannah Keltner. At 5'7", a sophomore, number 10, Brent Dieterding. At 5'5", a sophomore, number 12, Izzy Brunkow. At 5'7", a freshman, number 13, Ava Dye. And at 5'9", a senior, number 22, Miranda Coos. The Lady Cards are coached by Brandon Parker, assisted by Justin Mayer, Kristen Stevie, Kyle Dieterding, and Jeremy Thomas. Now the starting lineup for your Hayden Wildcats. At 5'11", a freshman, number 2, Haley Schmidtline. At 6 foot, a senior, number 10, Millie Ramsey. At 5'7", a senior, number 12, Bella Reed. At 6 foot, a senior, number 25, Riley Meyer. And at 5'6", a senior, number 30, Norma Greco. Your Wildcats are coached by Carl Reynolds and assisted by Debbie Audi, Paul Neeland, and Rosie Ingriano.
All right, so you heard the starting lineups there for your Cardinals. It's the old reliable Hannah Keltner, Bryn Dieterding, Izzy Brunkow, Ava Dye, Miranda Kuntz. On the Wildcats side of things, Haley Schmidtline, Millie Ramsey, Bella Reed, Riley Meyer, and Norma Jean Greco make out the starting 5 here for these teams. So 2 strong teams are about ready to lock horns here in the gym of the Topeka Wildcats, the Hayden Wildcats, sorry. Topeka Hayden Wildcats is what all the websites say. But no, this is just Hayden Catholic High School in Top City, the capital of Kansas. And the Wildcats will win the opening possession here in a game where every possession will be so big. Moving the ball around here quickly in the paint, under pressure, no foul will come. And now whistles will blow for a jump ball here almost immediately, and that'll be a Cardinals ball.
And this very well. It has that feel to it, Reed. Feels like this is going to be almost unstoppable force versus immovable object today, right? 2 teams that have just been able to impose their will on quite literally whoever they have played this year.
This is a very full gym here, both sides represented well, as it is senior night for the Hayden Wildcats, of course, their final game of the season. Keltner, a senior for the Cards, trying to get their first points, but both teams' first possessions will come up scoreless. And here's a turnover here early. We said these are going to be big. Dieterding going to pull up and shoot off the dribble. Won't get it. Kuntz couldn't get the rebound. Still loose. Cardinals maintain possession. No shot clock here in Hayden. Ava Dye drives, shoots. Still scoreless here. 2 possessions apiece here. Neither team converting. Wildcats slowing things down a little bit. But yes, both sides represented well. A lot of Cardinals fans and family members have made the trip, and we will see our first points come for the Wildcats, Haley Schmidtline. So they do go out on top, the Wildcats. Cardinals sort of were rushing themselves a little bit on offense, taking some shots. Maybe they didn't need to because they were trying to catch the defense off guard when they got the ball out of transition. Keltner under the basket, going to go to the line here. A couple free throws for the Kansas commit.
For the Lady Cards is number 3, Hannah Keltner.
Foul called against Millie Ramsey, the 6-foot senior.
Number 10, Millie.
One of those days, as you said, where possessions are going to come in so huge, and I'd love to see the Cards slow down the pace just a little bit here.
Especially with the no shot clock, they're free to do so.
Right, looking a tad rushed early in that first one. Does not go for Keltner.
But I saw why. It was the defense was out of position. They had caught them in the transition, and so just trying to capitalize on that. I understand the instinct, but yeah, they ended up making those possessions go scoreless. Now find themselves trailing. Keltner did get the Cardinals' first point here today, though, so it's 2-1. Wildcats making some nice passes here. Schmidtline driving and looking for a shooting foul. She'll get it. So to the line will go the freshman.
Number 2, Haley Schmidtline.
After the foul called on Keltner, her first.
Number 3, Hannah Keltner.
We complimented both these teams on scoring. Maybe we jinxed them a little bit here, at least right at the start. A little bit slow out of the gates for both teams. I'm sure, though, as time goes on, they will get more comfortable in this one. But Schmidtline, the only scorer for Hayden thus far, unable to add to her 2 points. It sees them up by 1. Here's Keltner. Now for Kuntz, the two seniors connecting, and then a loose ball off for the pass for Dye. Suffocating defense from the Wildcats. Driving along the baseline is Schmidtline and overshot it, but then grabbed her own rebound. And now into some space here for Meyer, who pulls up from 3, comes up short. Shooting a lot of blanks here so far.
All kinds of pressure on defense, though, particularly on the Wildcat side. That last turnover, can't even call that one unforced. That was just the Wildcats quite literally getting in the face of the Cards, forcing one of those little errors that goes a long way in a game like this.
Both teams seem to be wary of the opponent's offensive capabilities. And going to be a foul there. Bella Reed committing that one against Ava Dye, a second team foul. Rather, they call it on Norma Greco. Her first team's second. Mentioned it already, no shot clock here for this game. So the Cardinals can slow things down a little more than they've been used to, though we did see against Spring Hill a lot of taking their time on offense, so maybe it plays to their advantage a little bit. But we've seen quite a few of those shots off the dribble like we just saw from Dye, rather than passing, trying to move around, find somebody who's open, and that's partially a credit to the defense because there really isn't anybody that's open, but you'd expect with some Cardinals movement they could find the space they'd need to take some more comfortable shots. Here in the paint is Millie Ramsey, and now a 3 from the corner. No good from Greco, but Schmidtline got up top, and now Brunkow takes it away. It's just her and Greco's going to rob her.
Don't see that one very often.
Yeah, a 1v1 there, and pickpocketed was Izzy Brunkow. So now Greco leads the return charge. Schmidtline finds some space, now standing at the free throw line. In for Ramsey. Up and off the glass. They've got another basket here. It's 4-1.
Definitely not a blazing fast start for the Wildcats, but fast enough with how well their defense is playing to this point, and they give it away again.
Another poor offensive possession. Dye trying with a late attempt there to get it away from Greco. But after a slow start for both teams, it's now just the Cardinals still lagging behind the Wildcats, at least with a couple baskets so far. Pulling up for 3 is Ramsey. She's been in the paint all day long, pulling up from long range on that occasion. Doesn't get it. What will the Cardinals do? Dye with a floated pass. Dieterding brings it down, cuts back, and then a pass for Brunkow she didn't really seem to be ready for. And now Schmidtline will score again with the left hand.
Number 2, Haley Schmidtline.
Now's where I really want to see the Cards slow the pace down a bit if things are starting to seem to slip here. With rushing can sometimes only make that worse.
I might expect a timeout from Parker. Another shot off the dribble, just not finding the right space to be pulling off these attempts. And Dieterding going to get called for a foul there. So that should send Schmidtline back to the line where she went 0 for 2 earlier. 3 subs waiting for the Cardinals, Rychek, Warren, and Owens.
Foul is on related cards number 10, Brent Dieterdy.
And now Warren goes back over to the bench. Schmidtline gets this one to go. So up to 5 points for the freshman. Rychek goes in for Kuntz. Owens goes in for Keltner.
And number 32, Carly Owens.
Schmidtline doesn't get that one to go, and a great snag there from Ava Dye. Now what can she do? Her teammates joining her. Tough passes here, able to find Dieterding. Did well enough to control it. Brunkow pulls up, shoots. Off the left side of the rim, loose ball. Schmidtline comes away with it. Wildcats dribbling back down court. A nice disguised pass. Couldn't finish, but then gets the rebound. Ella Foster along the baseline. She stepped out. So the Cardinals will get the ball. Good positioning there by Rychek.
That was a really good job.
Cardinals the ball back.
That was a really good job of not foul as well. Play that cleanly and force the step out of bounds without committing a foul themselves, which they certainly don't want to afford to do at this point in the game.
Schmidtline will come out. That'll give the Cardinals some respite from the freshman who's put up 5 points. Reese Hoosier takes her place. A pass for Brunkow. Strong defense again, keeping the Cardinals uncomfortable. They just seem unsure of themselves right now. Dye was going up for the shot but lost the ball. Owens cleans up. Big rebound there for the Cardinals just for the sake of momentum. Here's Dieterding moving quickly, spinning, shooting, and goes in and out, and then a strong rebound by Ramsey.
That's just an unfortunate bounce. One that'll go in for Dieterding probably 8 out of 10 times.
At this point, the Wildcats have shaken off that slow start, but the Cardinals are still slow out the gates, if you can even call it that anymore. 5.5 in.
I'd say it's still out of the gates. We're still first quarter.
I think, though, that the Wildcats would have liked to have done a lot better at this point. Only a couple shots ahead, but there'll be a chance for more now. Ramsey up to 4 points. It could be an and one.
Going to the line, shooting one.
Straight up, Allie, straight up.
Foul on Dieterding, team's third. Warren now goes in for Brunkow.
They said that foul was on Rychek.
Brunkow comes off in a lot of pain. Could be something to keep an eye on. Ramsey does turn it into a 3-point play. So the Wildcats first to double digits. We got them 10-1 right now.
Points becoming a necessity right now for the Cards. Dieterding getting the play call, slowing things down a little.
Owens cuts in, looking for an option. Out for Warren. She can shoot from 3. Opts not to, at least for the time being. Owens wants to find some space, gets a pick from Rychek and lays it in. Really impressive there from Owens off the bench. First field goal for the Cards, makes it 10-3.
I think that's a lot bigger than the 2 points as well. A little bit of momentum for a Cards team that just seemed to be sputtering. They needed that.
Cadence Watts, pass for Hoosier. Now Walter for 3, off the back of the rim, and Dieterding gets up for it. 90 seconds left for the Cardinals to try and make this look a little bit better before the first quarter concludes. Owens, can she do it again? Yes, she can! A long 2 for Carly Owens, who leads the team with 4 points. So nice sparks off the bench there for Carly Owens. Spinning into some space here is Briley Meyer, and the Cardinals are going to take it away.
I think this is ideal for Coach Parker. Bring players off the bench, get a bit of momentum as they've got here.
Corner, Owens, back for Dye. Was really thinking about that 3, but wants to make it a shorter range shot. Off Rychek's collarbone, she'll finish. 4 points off the bench for the Cards. And now it's going to be Hayden taking a timeout. How about that? After it was 10-1, it's 10-7. We'll go to a break with 50.6 left here in the first quarter.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
So some inspiration off the bench here, Hayden, coming for the Cardinals. All of a sudden they're back within one shot. Just 40 seconds of game time ago, I was saying they were trying to make the first quarter look a little bit better. Now they might have a chance to come out maybe being the team that leads after the first quarter. What are you seeing so far?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it to you in the break that it seems like when two really good teams play, it's hard for them to separate by a lot, and I think that's what we're seeing here. Cards started late, but they're one of those teams that even if they don't fire off in the first minutes the way they want to, they're always going to find their way back into it.
Trying to restore that two-basket distance, and now Schmidtline, who's back out there under some physical contact, gives the ball away. Dye on the breakaway and tried to float it for Rychek, but Ramsey takes it down out of the air.
That might be critical for Hayden, for the Wildcats, to try to stop the momentum that the Cards had rolling. Any little turnover like that, even if they don't get points out of it.
It's a great matchup between two 6-foot-tall players, Ramsey and Rychek. Blakely Walter. Hayden looking to take the last shot here. Schmidtline for Ramsey. Ramsey steps to her left, shoots for three, doesn't get it. Still a second left and too much distance for Dieterding to think about putting it up. So it does end 10-7, Hayden on top, but only a little bit ago it was 10-1, so the Cardinals will take that, being within one shot at the end of one.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
So the Wildcats will start with the ball here to get the second quarter going.
Brunkow back out there and moving, which, as we mentioned, good sign to see her back out on the court. And this one's going to go the way of the Cards. Possession taken away.
Brunkow would come off in tears, it looked like, so good to see she's back out there. We know that this team is full of warriors. Brunkow not the only one. Dye being another great example. And just couldn't get that one to go, but Keltner comes in with a strong hand. It's met with an equally strong hand, but it'll stay in possession of the Cardinals after Ramsey poked that one out. Eudora fighting for the chance to tie this game.
That was incredibly good hand discipline from Keltner to see that one coming down, swatted away before it even got into control for the Wildcats.
Here's Bryn Dieterding for Kuntz. Thought of the three, but didn't take it, and then a little inaccurate pass, and the Cardinals going to snag possession right back after it had been gripped for a second there by Bella Reed, and it'll stay in Cardinals possession here. So something we're seeing right here out of the gate. I put in my notes for the first quarter, still true of the second. Both these teams look kind of sloppy right now. They are not playing at that high level that we maybe had expected, and I think it's going to be partially being scared of the opponent, and two, the quality of the opponent. These two teams are really good. That's just how it is. Brunkow all by herself for three, and the Cardinals will not take that chance to tie the game here. So still 10-7 here as Ramsey comes down the other way, but we've seen miscontrols, bad passes, and some of those turnovers that we said would be big, and really Hayden have not been capitalizing on them much either.
No, they haven't.
Just a little bit more at this point.
There you see it.
But it's going to be a matter of which team can continue to execute and maybe stop giving the ball away, but also just capitalize when the opponent does give it to you. And Greco is going to double the deficit here, getting her first points of this one and making the deficit now 6 for the Cards. Here's Brunkow into the paint, looks for the shot, floats it in, nice and easy. A good quick response there, always nice to take some momentum back.
And Reed, something else I think it's worth mentioning is the way these teams are playing. When two teams are playing sloppy, momentum becomes so huge, so I'd keep an eye out for that. If these two teams don't start cleaning up their play, you're going to see the team that has the momentum really start to stretch it out.
Meyer couldn't get that one in off the glass. There were 4 different Cardinals waiting to rebound. Keltner the one that comes up with it. Coach Parker calls out as Dieterding drives down court, but goes past Brunkow. Kuntz, Brunkow again. Looking for the shot, never had a real lane there for the shot, and will not get a foul call. The shot selection has been a story for the Cardinals. And a big shot there, the senior Bella Reed. And now the ball rolling on the ground here. Keltner comes and picks it up, able to get it to Brunkow in a little bit of space, but then has it poked away. Greco steals it all by herself. The senior scores. Now it's those Cardinals being sloppy, and the Wildcats are taking those chances to score. Norma Jean Greco up to 5 points for herself in this one, and it's going to be a timeout taken. We'll keep you here for a little bit. Hayden, what is going on for the Cards?
They're not playing very well. Hayden wasn't either, but the Wildcats kind of snapped out of that funk and started playing the way that they know they can play. And the Cards just haven't yet. They're still kind of searching for that. We saw a brief little run, but that run seemed to be largely in part of the fact that the Wildcats were also stalling a bit. They were also giving the ball away and having those mistakes and those kind of self-inflicted wounds. And they've cleaned those up here in the last minute or two, and you've seen the Cards continue to kind of trip over their own feet trying to get this one started. And the Wildcats are not giving them any opportunities to make up for those mistakes anymore.
Yeah, the Cardinals literally there were taking their eye off the ball. Brunkow having that poked away from Greco is just a silly mistake that we haven't seen anyone on the Cardinals really been making this season. And the jump ball will go the way of Eudora, maybe mercifully.
It seems like it.
Ramsey has been a real pest, but she is putting a strong performance in, just being in the way. It's not just her, though. Greco also. Schmidtline has been amazing. The Wildcats are just causing all kinds of problems. Something we haven't seen Eudora do much of is pull up from three.
I'd love to see him start.
I think those 2 threes for the Wildcats were really big. And there, a pass trying to get to the corner. Too much. The Cardinals really trying to work on those aerial passes right now, trying to float it over the top of this team. And this Wildcats team has a lot of that height advantage. It's just not working for them. And that reflects how well they're shutting down the passing lanes. The Cardinals don't want to be passing like that, but the Wildcats are marking them so well all across the court that they're having to try and float it into them, which is sort of just a lob it up there and hope that it comes down to the right spot.
Those touch passes are so hard to execute accurately, too. And that's your only
Bella
option,
Reed
not
for
ideal.
another 3, doesn't get it, but Ramsey rebounds. Now she wants to shoot. No, she'll pass. And Schmidtline, oh my goodness, absolutely denied by Ava Dye. You could hear her slap that ball away. What do the Cardinals do with the possession, though? Brunkow nearly lost it on the dribble. Cardinals need to slow things down.
Look at the pressure
getting a
here.
hand in. Again, reaching. Here's Keltner in a little bit of space. Just impossible to find angles towards the basket here. Brunkow tried to step in, just got rid of the ball, and lucky that it found a teammate there. There wasn't really any intent on that pass. Here's Dieterding driving along the baseline, hand to her face. What do we see here? A jump ball is the call. So that one will go towards the home team.
Returning to the lineup,
Owens and Rychek, the Cardinals' 2 leading scorers,
number 32.
go in for Coots and Keltner. And Brunkow also asking for a substitute, so next chance she will come out for Warren. Brunkow putting it all out there. We saw her leave hobbled before, might still be playing through something at this point. Greco wants a 3. She's already got 1. Make it 2.
3-point basket by number 30.
Cardinals seeing things slip away from them at this point in a game that's supposed to be an even matchup, or even them as the favorite. And right now they are not looking it. They look very flustered here. Dieterding with some nice handles against Schmidtline, but nobody there for that pass. Cardinals really struggling. Looks like there's 7 or 8 defenders out there at the moment.
It's just the fact that they're doing everything so well. I mean, as the timeout here goes for the Cards, it's just a lot of discipline for the Wildcats. They're not leaving
Warren was
any
about to go
stone
in.
unturned.
Warren was about to go in for Brunkow, who again looked uncomfortable coming out. We'll go ahead and take a quick break here with the timeout.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jean's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jean's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Jean's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Jean's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agent.
Back here, 21-9 is our score. Hayden have been doing really, really well here, and the Cardinals just really feel like they haven't gotten going in this game. The only players that have really made an impact have been off the bench. The starting five not doing much in this one. 3 points total coming from them compared to the 6 coming off the bench. They just cannot find any way to break down this team right now. Here's Owens, our leading scorer. Almost made it more there, but then the rebound comes down for Briley Meyer. Here's Greco. She's been a big part of this second quarter for the Cards, or for the Wildcats rather.
She's been huge.
Ramsey, back out to Greco. Warren in her face, now finds Schmidtline. She had a really strong first quarter, hasn't had much to say in the second quarter. Finds Greco in space, couldn't make it 3 from 3. Dieterding with a nice pass for Dye, who's now in a bit of space.
And they got a numbers advantage here.
4v3 for the time being, and they will capitalize. Ava Dye with her first points. They needed that one. They're into double digits finally. Still trail by 10, so they'll need to get some plus possessions here. Driving, shooting, off the glass, creates her own rebound, puts it back and scores. Riley Meyer.
Unreal awareness right there. So well done to offset the points from the Cards.
Here's Ava Dye once again. Bounce pass. The Cardinals just look so uncomfortable passing the ball. That is really where the struggles have been. We saw them early. They weren't even doing it. They were shooting off the dribble. They weren't passing, and now whenever they look to pass, they just look like they've almost never done it before. It was such a great team. Looks completely helpless when it comes to moving the ball around, and that's a credit to this defense. We've talked about how strong they've been in terms of the points allowed. They are a really strong defensive team, and the Cardinals are seeing exactly that. And it means that they don't have to be perfect on offense, which they certainly are not being. They have been well more than good enough to put the Cardinals in a really uncomfortable position here with the second quarter winding to a close. Here's Avery Warren. Now Owens driving, hands to Dye, pulls up to shoot. Very nice touch on that one.
Nicely done. Cards starting to get a little bit of momentum here, and I don't even think...
Well, can they hold on to it?
Yes,
though?
exactly. When it comes to trying to breach a comeback, I don't even necessarily think it's they need to shoot more threes, they need to be better. They need to do everything better. They need to be cleaner across the board, because as we've seen, their offense can be so prolific. If they get one thing working and the entire offense starts clicking a little smoother, they could easily make this 10-point gap go away, but they got to start now.
They'll get this one. I think the passing lanes are the biggest thing, which that's a matter of movement away from the ball too, but they've had troubles holding on to the ball for even a few seconds because players like Norman Greco are putting them under so much pressure. Dye couldn't find anywhere out, and so she just shoots and scores. She's got all 6 points this second quarter, and now all of a sudden leads the team, and she is leading the team on a bit of a comeback trail here, to the point that Hayden's going to go ahead and take the timeout.
I think that's been critical right now, is that Ava Dye is finally starting to make those floater passes go, something that she's been so good at and so comfortable at all year long. You could tell when those weren't going early on, she kind of started to get a little bit flustered. She's looking more comfy now that those are finally starting to go the way she wants them to. And one player like that who's had such a leading impact on the roster, if she gets rolling, gets more comfortable, that could easily snowball to the rest of the team.
They're still not finding a way to pass the ball very comfortably, but those last few possessions, they didn't really need to. Dye was just able to do it herself. But there is still certainly work to be done here, and it's a matter of controlling the ball yourself, so they need to be aware of Greco and players getting their hands in, so they need to just dribble and keep more space, but then also the movement away from the ball, off the ball, finding space to pass to, creating those options. Right now it's just such a struggle.
Even when it comes to setting up threes, I mean, they haven't been able to set up much of anything around the perimeter. Granted, they haven't been very comfortable trying it, but not a lot of anything available.
Here is Haley Schmidtline. Cardinals have made this one look a little better for the time being, but what will Hayden do with this possession? Ramsey hands off to Meyer. Wildcats looking to have the last shot of the quarter here, of the half. Schmidtline. Greco. She'll get it. Already into double digits. She's got 11 points. Cardinals looking for a quick response. Dieterding needs to put it up now. And it didn't go up anyway and didn't go in. So 26-15, it's a more than 10-point lead to the technical underdog Hayden Wildcats between the number 3 and number 2 ranked teams here in 4A. The Cardinals find themselves trailing and looking very uncharacteristic out on the court. When we're back, it's the halftime show. We'll try and figure out what's going on here for you before the second half of this one.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jean's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jean's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Jean's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Jean's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
All right, so we are going here on our Jean's Heartland Foods halftime show. I think you have to say that that was a bit of a surprising first quarter. You definitely saw a typical Hayden High School performance, but not a typical Cardinals performance. They were just getting shut down, and that's what we were saying is that looking at the stats, if the Cardinals were to have a typical Cardinals day, it would have to be an off day for Hayden just in terms of the defense.
Right.
There's such a strong defense, and we are seeing that in full here, how they do that, and it's by super effectively shutting down the passing lanes and then also having someone attacking the ball really well and really safely with the way that it's been Norma Jean Greco doing that this whole time, and the way that she's been doing that effectively and without fouling is really impressive. That's really hard to do. Reaching in at the ball and not getting a reach-in foul is a very tough task, and she has done it really, really well. She took one away and was able to go down and take a layup from it. But on top of that, I think that she really was the player of that second quarter because she put up 3 threes in that one. It was just a thorn in the side of the Cardinals in every possible way. Sees them up on top by 11 here. Hayden, what's your analysis?
My analysis is that the Cards are in a tough spot, and they've been stuck in a rut for a little longer than I would have expected them to be. But yeah, it's multiple different things, of course, have not gone well, but it's, as you said, the biggest component so by far here has been the fact that the Cards have not been able to find anywhere to pass the ball. They've almost entirely been forced to either shoot without being able to set themselves up from way far out, or they've had to shoot off the dribble with, again, very little time to set themselves up, prepare for the shot whatsoever. And you're seeing that translate where the only real runs of momentum you saw the Cards start to get were Ava Dye almost shooting blind, where shots were just floating up and going in. They weren't having any time to get any kind of momentum rolling, any kind of cohesive team effort, because every time you start to get something rolling, the Wildcats would inevitably steal a possession away or get a reach in to swipe the ball away like they did on Izzy Brunkow, who is maybe the hardest player on this entire Cards team to steal a ball away from. I mean, just so incredibly well executed by the Wildcats. I don't even think that was an ideal first half by their standards. I think they would have liked to be a lot better on offense in the opening minutes. They played just well enough on offense and extremely well on defense. Cards have been struggling all day long to just find rhythm.
Yeah, I think what the real credit for the team is that Hayden is making the Cardinals look like any other team.
Yes.
The Cardinals right now, if they were to recreate their first half performance, would have 30 points. That's right about where Hayden averaged giving up this season, and they would put up 52, right about where they averaged scoring this season. So they have treated the number 2 team in 4A
kind of bullying them
like any other team, like any run-of-the-mill casual, one of the other 19 teams that they've beat this season, not a team that is supposed to be their hardest opponent of the season as well, just as it is for the Cardinals, and that is such a credit to them. And the Cardinals, that means they're going to have to reverse that. They're going to have to make Hayden play like any other team in the second half if they want to get back into this one. And it's just going to be a really tough task, though we've seen the Wildcats are not that perfect team on offense. They're a perfect team on defense. They're a defense wins championships kind of style, and they are league champs and tournament champs already this year. And they lead from the back. They play great defense, and that means that they don't need to be absolutely on their game, but it doesn't hurt when you're draining threes like they have been. But that's the type of thing that can go away if the Cardinals can get momentum and if they can play well and start taking possessions back as they were for a long time in this one. They just need to also get their offense going. That's been where the struggles have been so hard, mainly the passing. We highlighted it, but the passing lanes are non-existent, and there's no time to find them either. That's just a horrible recipe. And I'm no coach, but the Cardinals need to find a way to keep the ball moving safely without forcing it, because it feels like a player will see no passing lane, drive towards the basket, and then realize they're not going to reach the basket, and so then they want to pass back out, but there's no option. And that's happened time and time again. And so that's just another credit to the Wildcats. Here we are saying they cover the passing lanes. They also cover the shooting lanes. There's no place to shoot, which
nowhere to go.
Generally, if you're covering the ways to shoot, that means that there's someone you can pass to, but there's no one to pass to. It is just an unbelievable performance. It genuinely feels like they have 7 players out there on the court at all times when it comes to defense, and the Cardinals just need to find some possible way to break that down and be more comfortable. They're rushing themselves. They're falling really uncomfortable, and I don't know that looking up at the scoreboard after that first half is going to help at all. I think it's only going to lead to being more uncomfortable. So that falls on Coach Parker and also the senior leaders of this team to help everybody stay calm, settle in, know what they're capable of. We've seen how great of a team they can be. We've seen the way that they can drop threes, or they can just make layups and force turnovers, get quick breakaways. They need to do all of those things. They need to get back to Cardinals basketball, because it is a really tough struggle right now for them. Well, we will go to a break here, just over 2 minutes before second half tip from the Jeans Heartland Foods halftime show.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community, with all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve. Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
Hey, I'm Mike Rope, here today to encourage you to connect with 811 before you dig.
And I'm Micro, and I'm here because I love to dig in the dirt.
It's true. He's also here because he's very small and not that bright. Here, for instance, we can see Micro doing what he loves to do. And here we can see the consequences of not doing what he should have done. Dude, why didn't you call 811?
I forgot the number.
See? Not that bright.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jeans Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jeans Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Gene's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Gene's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com.
All right, third quarter underway here. Cardinals begin with the ball. So down by 11 here. This is the number 2 ranked Cardinals versus the number 3 ranked Hayden Wildcats. A really strong matchup we were anticipating. They have split the last 2 years that they have played really close games. And look at Brunkow giving Greco a taste of her own medicine, getting a hand to that one, but they do hold on to possession here. This is Meyer, but yes, this is a slow start for the Cardinals without a doubt. They just haven't really showed up for this one. We said the Wildcats made them look like any other team looking for their 20th win this season. Schmidtline off the mark, but they grabbed the rebound. Bella Reed came up with that one. Here's Greco, had a huge second quarter. Now Reed again for 3. She'll get that one.
By number 12, Bella Reed.
Puts her up to 6 points and makes it so the Wildcats are nearly doubling up the Cardinals here. They just have looked really, really uncomfortable, and it's a credit to the amazing defense of the Wildcats. What will the Cardinals look like here coming out of the locker room? Here's Kuntz floating it for Keltner, still loose, and she's not going to get it. Ramsey comes away with it, now finds Schmidtline, and she's going to lay that one in easy with the left hand. 7 points for her. So absolutely not the ideal start for the Cards, and even sloppy just on slowing things down here. Here's Keltner.
They just look panicked. Looks like they're not settled in at
wants
all.
A 3, and she gets it. That's huge.
Massive.
Her first points in this one, and the Cardinals have been desperately needing things like that to come for them. And again, it was a possession that took no passing, which just shows that that's just maybe going to be something they can't do much in this game. But Dieterding able to pull up, get the Cardinals' first 3-point basket of this one, and her first points in this one as well. Looking for an immediate response, it won't come. Keltner grabs the rebound.
Especially coming from the team leader in Dieterding. Her getting rolling was so necessary, I think, early on here.
And there you go. She slips all the way through, up to 5 points. Again, another possession with no real passing in it. There was one pass from Keltner to Dieterding just to get things going, but it seems like that might be the way that it has to go. And we saw the Cardinals trying that in the first quarter, pulling up, and it just wasn't happening for them. But maybe in that locker room, Coach Parker, as Ramsey's going to draw an and one.
That rebound.
She did one earlier, but no, I think that Coach Parker was talking in the halftime locker room about, hey, let's go back to what we knew we were going to do, those shooting off the dribble, it seems. That was something they tried in the first quarter. We criticized it, but that's only because it wasn't going for them. But it feels like that might just be the only way to attack this team here. So far it's working okay for them, but Millie Ramsey with another converted and one sees herself up to 8 points in this game, and the lead is 14. Keltner for Brunkow, pulls up for 3, won't get it, and then the rebound snagged away by Meyer rather.
And again, the luxury having a lead gives you. The Wildcats are in a position here.
Oh,
they just got to answer.
Going to get a hand in. Passes for Dieterding.
They've just got to answer every possession or so, and they can keep themselves in position.
All by herself for the short 2, gets it. Long 2 rather, puts her up to 4 points. You can see the Cardinals are certainly going back to something they saw and just wasn't happening for them in the first quarter, and that's few passes. Find the person who's open and don't miss the chance to shoot. But that's going to mean, though, that rebounding's going to be huge, and things like this, as we knew from the pregame, going to be massive. Can Dye finish? She can't, but Brunkow gets the pick back.
Man. I also, from a coaching standpoint, I absolutely love Coach Parker's decision to go back to what they had initially, even though it wasn't working. Showing faith in your players has been huge here, Reed.
Coach Reynoldson takes a timeout for Hayden, and they're back within 10, the Cards. It started as an 11-point deficit, but it grew pretty big there pretty fast. So to have brought it back here to within 10, something that here early in the third quarter, absolutely something you can overcome. And the Cardinals getting enough momentum to scare Hayden into taking a timeout. So things going well enough here for Eudora, you'd say. I think the team is settling in a little bit more to the way they want to attack this team. But still a very impressive Hayden team out there that came out right out of the gates. They were scoring quickly.
Yeah, still a tall task without a doubt. But yeah, I love Coach Parker's decision there, where you could tell they had gone into the game with the vision of, we know this isn't going to be a team that's going to let us pass a lot. We want to attack that without passing a ton. They tried it early. It didn't necessarily work. You can tell the way they've come out in the second half that he kind of said, hey, it wasn't working initially, but that's still our game plan. That's still what we want to roll with, and I'm going to trust my players to go out there and execute it. Sure enough, they have. A little bit of momentum grows. It's what good coaches do. Put faith in your players to execute when the lights get bright.
Wildcats will start with the ball on the far side of the court. Greco against Brunkow. That matchup's been important, and this one will continue to be, especially if this one grows to be close once again. Here's Schmidtline for Greco. For Ramsey. To the corner now, Meyer. Against Dye, found some space. It went off her foot. Cardinals ball. Meyer, well, I'm not sure. I thought she was maybe complaining to the ref, but it looks like more she's complaining at her coach. Didn't like the play call or wants a sub. Desperately asking for a sub, in fact, is what it is.
It's a glimmer of hope for the Cards.
Finds Keltner. Ramsey in her face, though, so this possession not like the other ones where they've needed to get that shot off quickly. Wow, that's big. Really big finish for Coots. Gets her first points.
Threw up a prayer and it came down.
Now they're within 8. What will the Wildcats' response be? Still out there is Briley Meyer, despite being potentially uncomfortable. Greco against Brunkow. Enough space to hand off to Reed, and now Schmidtline with the floated pass for Ramsey. Wow, what a 1-2 there, and couldn't capitalize on a beautiful little sequence. So now Dieterding looking down court, trying to find some space off the dribble. Brunkow, the pass was a little bit too inaccurate for her to pull up to shoot. Kuntz, Keltner, handed off to Dye, now who's in traffic. Oh, just couldn't get it to go, and then the loose ball taken by Ramsey. And then a tough pass, Dye's gonna intercept. What can she do here? Looking for space, all 5 defenders in between her and the basket as she tries to bobble it to Brunkow.
What a recovery. Dye definitely limping off. Didn't land well on that foot, but a really good job to maintain possession when that ball got popped up.
Dieterding gonna shoot and score. Cardinals absolutely have momentum here. So they find themselves back within 2 shots. How did that happen? Here's Greco against Brunkow. These two players going to be going at it and keeping it risky whenever they hold on to the ball to dribble against the other one, because both love reaching in to try and take it away. Schmidtline straight on from the pin. Reed off to the left. Schmidtline will pull up for it and make it rain. So now the Cardinals take a timeout, but there's a different complexion on the faces of the coaches. They come away clapping and smiling, looking at their team, and they call that timeout. No worries, despite giving up the 3, slowing things down because the Cardinals looking good right now.
It is strange. They look unbelievably comfortable now, even with a 9-point deficit. As you said, my first look was over to Coach Parker, and he was smiling and clapping. He looked really, really happy. Because again, despite giving up that 3, if you take that 3 off the board right there at the end, which you're going to give up some of those, they got it down to 6. I mean, they got the deficit down to very manageable here and had the Wildcats looking a little bit flustered in that moment. So definitely a really good midway point of that third quarter for them. They came out hot, leaned on their strengths, and as you said, Reed, it's showing here.
They did a couple times, though. Hayden managed to force them to have to make those passes, and you just saw the second that they needed to do that, they went right back to being really uncomfortable.
Yep.
And so that's what went wrong for them in the second quarter. And they just need to find those. They can do the shots off the dribble like we saw Dieterding convert on.
But they got to
find those spaces to shoot early.
They've got to live by that philosophy because, as you said, literally instantly, when they had to make passes, they kind of reverted back to their first half form. So it's going to be a religious effort of trying to stay off of having to make those passes and try to keep yourself in positions to succeed.
The whiteboard says, shoot early, rebound strong, don't pass. Underline 3 times. That's what my theory for Coach Parker's whiteboard in the halftime talk was. And
I thought you saw it. I went, whoa.
No, but that's my idea here for the Cardinals. And Dieterding lost the dribble for a second, able to recover. Almost lost her footing then. Still on her feet with the ball. Not really finding anyone to pass to. No surprise there. Schmidtline in her face. The bounce pass inaccurate. Almost found its way to Rychik, but it does not. So now Reese Hoosier has it. And here's Norma Greco, this time against Avery Warren, who's in place of Izzy Brunkow. Warren trying to be equally as feisty. Ramsey across to Schmidtline. Steps into the paint. Out for Hoosier. Moving it around, the Wildcats no problem. Going end to end, something the Cardinals would love to be able to do, but they just have not had that freedom even once throughout this game. Into the corner, Reed passes back. Just taking their time here, the Wildcats. No shot clock here, so they can take as long as they want. Schmidtline drives against Dieterding. Oh my, really physical down there. And that's going to be a call against Dieterding.
Number 2, Schmidtline.
So Schmidtline will go to the line to shoot. That looked a lot like a potential charging call. Looked like Dieterding straight up got ran over, but I guess she didn't get the opportunity to set her feet on that one. Schmidtline was 1 for 4 at the line, but now gets another one to go, putting her up at 11 points. Just gets one of them. So the deficit is back to 10 here for Eudora. Cardinals not getting that chance to shoot quickly. Dye was trying to find space off the dribble, but Ramsey, without even leaving her feet, takes it away. Now a high pass for Schmidtline, and Dye will get a hand in.
Really well done.
Ready to come back in here is Riley Meyer.
We of course don't know anything yet either, but I'm impressed by Ava Dye's tenacity and speed even on the court right now, because when she went down on her ankle over on that right side of the court, it looked really, really uncomfortable.
Well, we know her ability to push through pain. Wow, what a pass and finish for Ramsey. Puts herself up to 10 points. Another senior having a great night here on senior night for the Wildcats. Here's Ava Dye. Won't get the space to shoot, so passes for Rychek. Finds herself free at the free throw line, but took too long to realize before pulling up to shoot, so Ramsey had enough time to close the gap. Greco against Warren. Passes for Meyer, wants the three, doesn't get it. Under 40 seconds to go now. Here's Ramsey for three, and she gets it. It's becoming a tough mountain to climb here for the Cardinals as we are very nearly into the fourth quarter. A strong pick from Rychek gives Dieterding space but doesn't get it. Warren up for the rebound. Down on the ground goes Ava Dye. Warren all by herself says why not? Doesn't get it. Meyer rebounds, shoulders her own teammate. 5 seconds left, needs to put up a shot here. The whole arena counting down. Oh my goodness, she banks it in. Cardinals just gonna let that sit after she puts herself up to 4 points. And the gap is 17 after the Cardinals had clawed back so well to get it back within 6. It is all the way back to a 17-point gap. Feels like the Cardinals, well, in the end, they didn't make any progress. I was going to say it felt like they didn't. They did for a moment there, but it has gone all away, and what was an 11-point gap after halftime is a 17-point gap after 3. We'll send you to a commercial break here very quickly before we're back for the fourth quarter.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
So a quarter where the Cardinals put up 19 points, or the Cardinals put up 11 points, but the Wildcats were able to put up 19 in that one. See that lead grow even larger. Brunkow returns in for Warren. The Cardinals back to their starting 5 here. So Brunkow fighting against Greco. It would have to be a perfect quarter to make up a 17-point gap. Is just a ridiculous task. Thankfully, it won't grow larger here as Dieterding turns on the Jets, breaking down court. Passes for Dye, wants the three out of the sky, doesn't get it. Meyer rebounds. Now Greco. Again, Brunkow hot on her trail, chasing her down. Schmidtline finds space to get it across for Hoosier.
It's just been so tough to find any kind of momentum for the Cards here. Wildcats able to take their time. That
Ramsey
luxury.
found the space. She was backing up as she caught it. And the senior is up to 15 points.
She's been an absolute pest today, Reed. She's been all over the place, particularly on the rebounds.
What a spin from Brunkow. And gets the finish, too. That's exactly what the Cardinals need. The quick movement, the quick shot, and to actually convert on those opportunities. It has been so few chances to shoot. And meanwhile, on the backside, Brunkow limping back down court. We've seen that she's not feeling great. Greco doesn't get it to go. Then the rebound. Meyer able to grab that pass. What a pass it was from Hoosier, but the Cardinals do come away with it. Again, shoot quickly is the MO here for the Cards. Will they find an opportunity to do that? Brunkow, nice pass out, and then Dieterding shut down by Schmidtlein, who then grabs it out of the air, puts Meyer away in space, who then gets shut down by Dieterding, but illegally so, they say. So Meyer will go to the line.
Number 25, Riley Meyer.
For a foul against Ava Dye.
Yeah, they've been so good at that on those returns down the court where, they're either getting points out of it, or even if they're not, they're almost guaranteeing that they can be physical enough at the point that they can make the Cards foul them.
Meyer here, another senior on her senior night. Put up 4 points so far, has been fighting through pain. Ella Foster, a junior, steps in for the senior Millie Ramsey. Doesn't get either one to go at the line. That's nice for the Cardinals. What can they do, though, with the lost possession from Hayden? And a foul from Meyer committed against Dye. So that will send Ava Dye to the line just after Dye had fouled Meyer to send her to the line. The vice versa happens here. First foul for Meyer and for the Wildcats. Ava Dye with 6 points in this one to the line for the first time. Won't get the first to go. Warren will go in for Coombs. Different substitution there. I was expecting her to grab Brunkow.
Yeah.
Doesn't get either one to go. So stays at that 6 points. The teams trade scoreless trips to the free throw line. Here's Norma Jean Greco. Hands off to her fellow senior Meyer. In for Schmidtlein, bounce pass Hoosier. Greco for three, won't get it. Loose ball kept alive. No, they say went out, so Cardinals ball.
Now that we've crept down a little bit more, time is becoming such an adversary for the Cards. I mean, they've got to start putting up points now.
It feels like it would have to be threes as well, honestly.
Yeah. At least a couple.
And then maybe they would need to start fouling. The Wildcats haven't looked great at the line. Collectively, they are 4 of 10 as a team. So that could be something they could look at here. Is taking the ball, shooting quick threes. That'll be a foul against, they say Warren stepped out. So rather a Wildcats ball than a foul. So that could be something the Cardinals could attack, is try to shoot quickly and then foul.
Right.
But so early on, or so, not so early on, but still early in this fourth quarter. That wouldn't be something they'd want to be thinking of at this point, but honestly, it might be the right way to go, especially with no shot clock. Hayden can just eat so much time. Here's Schmidtlein. Back for Greco. Hoosier. Into the corner. Great pass to Meyer, who over her head scores off the glass, putting her up to 6 points.
Unbelievable.
They look right on pace. We said treating the Cardinals like any other team, and Dieterding, I'm not even sure how she got that taken away, but then Brunkow does finally give Greco a taste of her own medicine, taking it away from her. But Hayden well on pace to put up more than 50 points and hold the Cardinals to around 30. Warren didn't get enough time to shoot the three because the pass was a little bit too floated towards her. So Dye drives, pulls up, shoots, won't score, but Warren grabs the rebound. It's a nice fight there from the junior.
Yeah.
Who, if the roster stays as is, will find herself as the lone senior next year. But the Cardinals do not convert on that possession. Some scoreless blows being traded here at the moment, which if the Cardinals could start scoring would really favor them, but they have not been able to. Warren, Keltner.
Right now Hayden will take it all day long, just eating up clock.
Warren out to Dieterding. Gets a pick from Dye, takes the long two, bangs off the right side of the rim, no good, and then a Dye commits a foul. So that'll be her second, team second, and it'll just be a Wildcats inbound. Meanwhile, Carly Owens waiting to come in.
Number 13, Ava.
Goes in for Hannah Keltner.
All the senior parents participating in winter sports, meet Mr. Sandstrom in the cafeteria, please.
It is Schmidtline, rocking 11 points in this one, tied for second on the team. This is Ella Foster, yet to score in this one. Hoosier as well, not put up any points yet. Time running out on the Cardinals, getting to the point where it could feel insurmountable. Foster in for Schmidtline. Back to Foster, she wants to get down on the scoring. Won't be able to. Brunkow rebounds with a head of steam, going quickly, trying to wrap around Grenko. And will win an inbound on that far side. Ramsey will come back in along with Bella Reed. Two seniors go in for Ella Foster and Reese Hoosier, two juniors. Rychek goes in for Avery Warren. So collectively 3 seniors subbing in for 3 juniors there. Here is Bryn Dieterding. Cardinals have to score at this point. There's just no room for more error. So nice spinning, and it won't go. Maybe just a representation of the night.
Yeah,
Fate not going their way in this one, and now Meyer trying to get what would have felt like a dagger there, and Reed with a great rebound to keep it alive. Goes down to the ground, and a whistle blows. I think that'll be a foul against Ava Dye. It will be. That's her third, team's third.
Number 13, Ava Dye.
It's just getting tougher. Later you get into the fourth quarter here, it seems like the morale is just hitting a low point. The Wildcats just coasting on the momentum they've built. So they've done a really good job to not do anything that would give a ton of momentum. Unreal.
What even just an attempt there from Schmidtline was amazing. Dye comes running away with it. Hands for Owens, who finds some space in the paint, but not enough to get past Ramsey, who again makes a flat-footed block. The 6-foot senior has done that a couple times in this one, not needing to even leave the ground to shut down her opponent. Brunkow gets a hand in there to slow things down, or at least stop the clock, rather.
Just such a good job to close down passing lanes. I mean, there has truly been nothing available for the Cards to shoot, for the Cards to move the ball around.
And even now with such a big lead, still relentless from the Wildcats. Also relentless is Izzy Brunkow.
Maybe out of frustration at this point.
And just finding the opportunity to get a hand to the ball. And now Owen's going to take it away, being chased by Schmidtline. It's going to be tough. Ooh, couldn't get it, but the right check with the putback still doesn't get it. Ramsey rebounds.
You want to talk about the last one being a representation of the night? I think that might be a better one.
I don't know. The Cardinals haven't even been able to shoot in this one as much as they did just in that little period there.
Point.
But no, you're right. The Cardinals haven't been able to convert.
Even with chance after
Just
chance.
been really unlucky. Owens getting aggressive in this one too, legally so. Warren will go back in for Brunkow. That'll probably be the end of Izzy Brunkow's game at this point. Has put up a lot of fight into this one. And if she is playing through injury, no need to risk anything further before they get to the postseason of this one. The Cardinals will want to make noise in the playoffs. Ramsey. Definitely a bridge too far at this point for the Cardinals, and Meyer going to put the dagger in. Riley Meyer with her first points. That will, rather not her first point, she's up to 8 in this one, and that will almost certainly do it. Just nothing that the Cardinals have been able to do in this one. They have been pushed around like they were any other team. They have not looked like that second best team in the state tonight. Ramsey out for Bella Reed. Some Cardinals fans unhappy that there haven't been a lot of fouls called tonight that they thought could have come. Ramsey up to 17 points. Here is Warren, Owens, Dieterding, Rychek, the senior here in her final regular season game. The pass is for Dye, who will draw a shooting foul. She'll go to the line, try to atone for the 0 for 2. Myers' second foul, team second.
We're now under 60 to go in the last minute here.
Doesn't get it.
Going to want to do all she can to come out of here not shooting 0% on free throws.
You can see from her body language, she was just frustrated and confused a little bit. She couldn't get it. Now all the seniors will come out getting a big hug, tears in their eyes as they leave the court here in Topeka, being serenaded by all their fans for their final regular season game here on senior night. A lot of love for this super talented team. So the seniors getting a lot of love. The Cardinals will pull out Rychek, Warren, and Dieterding. They will send in Allison, Brady Miller. Dye still with that Ofer. The other player out there is Dylan Jane. Wildcats could just end this one, but doesn't look like they're interested in doing so. Still moving the ball around. They've got some players that don't get a lot of minutes, so they want to prove what they're capable of here at this point. There's also Schmidtline, the freshman who has been amazing, playing a lot like a senior. Looks like it too, standing at 5'11". She'll be a real force for years to come here in Hayden. This is Hoosier. Now Lauren Bourgeon. Wildcats look like they're not going to maybe take a shot here, just moving it around.
Just run it out. They are going to move it around a little bit.
Still challenging the Cardinals defense, just showing what they can do here, playing around with them, honestly. And that will do it. We said it enough times, but the Cardinals truly treated like any other team. They just looked helpless out there, and it's a full credit to the strength of this Hayden defense. They are just unbreakable. And so they do get their 20th win this season, and they will get a 23-point victory, 53-30 over the Eudora Cardinals, who lose for the first time since that tournament championship game. That will certainly affect their rankings as they go into the playoffs. Hopefully it doesn't affect their spirit, because they are such a great team without a doubt. They just came up against an unstoppable defense. There's just nothing they can do. So the Cardinals do lose for only the second time this season, 53-30 our final score. When we're back, it's the post-game show.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community. With all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve, Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jean's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jean's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Jean's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Jean's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com. The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Eudora Parks and Recreation is committed to creating community through parks, people, and programs. Their goal is to provide recreational opportunities for the community of Eudora that will enhance and promote a healthy lifestyle for all ages. The Eudora Parks and Recreation Department gives Eudora residents and others from surrounding communities the opportunity for family-oriented activities. Visit their website at eudoraparksandrec.org to view their youth and adult programs, leagues, memberships, facilities, activity guides, and more, and follow them on all social media at Eudora Parks and Rec.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Years at Hayden.
All right, welcome in here to our post-game show. A tough pill to swallow there for the Cardinals, getting just pushed around unlike any way that they have seen all season long. Even in that tournament championship game, they at least put up 40 points, played a bit of their basketball, a bit on brand, but just came up short. Tonight, though, they just didn't look themselves. So they followed for the second time only this year, and it's going to be a tough one to look past. That tournament championship loss was one thing. It was a third game in 3 days. Players were fighting through injury. It was the reigning champ of that tournament, one of the best teams they play all year. This one, a team they were technically ranked higher than, and just a team that they've gotten the better of once in the last couple of years, and they would have felt like they had the ability to beat them, and maybe they did, but they didn't show it, and that's going to be tough to synthesize, to take in and understand that they're still that great team, even though they couldn't really prove it against such a strong team. That's going to be tough to move past, to look past. And that'll be interesting to see how that goes as we go into the postseason. A really tough way to end the year, but it's a 17-2 final record. That's pretty darn good. It's a really strong season for the Cards, but Hayden, a really tough loss here as they're honoring some seniors here for the senior night. But focusing here on the Cards, Hayden, what do you make of that performance, and also how they're going to have to look past it, but first focus on what happened here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, focusing on what happened here tonight, first and foremost, it was just really tough. The entire night, you would see them try to get, basically trying every trick in the book, right? Anything that they could do to try to get a little bit of momentum, try to get themselves rolling a little bit, and they just continued to fall flat over and over and over, largely in part to how well the Hayden Wildcats were playing on defense. I mean, they were a brick wall tonight, made it so incredibly difficult for the Cards. They fell nearly 20 points short of their average total at the end of a game. Just unbelievable the way they were able to take this, extremely potent, extremely high-powered offense and stop them in their tracks, really. It's just been a tough day for them. They weren't ever really able to get their stars going. Ava Dye looked a little bit maybe beaten up after hitting the ground pretty hard. I believe it was early on in that second half, and Bryn Dieterding was never really able to get rolling. You could tell she got a little bit flustered as that game went on. Carly Owens had a really impressive performance, gave them a little bit of a spark there, but at the end of the day, nothing able to transpire into something bigger, and the Hayden Wildcats do just enough to run on to be, I believe, 20-2, hit 20 wins on the season for just an unbelievable effort for them, and the Cards just two. Yeah, reaching 20 wins on the year. That puts them up to 10-1 within their respective district. That is the Cards. They're still 13-0 in the Frontier League. This is an out-of-league loss for them. Just a tough day overall for the Cards. As you said, they haven't lost a game since that Tonganoxie tournament, and this felt a lot like that, even more so maybe. They were never able to play their basketball, or at least in that St. James matchup, they were able to an extent for bits of it, although St. James did keep that gap pretty comfortable. But this one stings a bit, especially as close as they got it. Got it down to just 6 points. Looked like they might have had a little bit of a run, might have been trying to claw their way back into it, and they put in such a fight to get it to that point. But the Hayden Wildcats had that little dry spell and then seemingly put their foot on the gas and ran away with this one, Reed.
Yeah, it's the type of performance where it's very possible the Cardinals find themselves playing this team again if they do make a deep run in the postseason.
Absolutely.
And I think that the Cardinals could beat this team. I think they absolutely could. But as we said, they really didn't show that tonight. We just have to believe on the team they've been before that they could have done it. But it was hard for them tonight. They just couldn't get anything going. The defense was so suffocating. But they have many things to hang their hat on, not just a strong season or a good record, but they are the Frontier League champions. They went undefeated in winning that title. So they are a really strong team, and just like the boys team, they have something tangible. If they don't win another game this year, they are the Frontier League champions. They are in Cardinals history as a basketball team that won something. They'll put something in the trophy cabinet for the school. So they have already achieved, but I hope that this does not derail their ability to continue to achieve. And we said that they did a great job looking past the tournament championship loss. I was afraid that might derail things for them. It absolutely did not change anything.
No,
they caught it right in stride, moved on completely. But this is going to be another hurdle. They're going to have to look past it. They're going to have to ignore what just happened tonight. Maybe, they can focus on it a bit to learn from it, but just in general, they're going to need to just move on, stay comfortable with who they are, what they're capable of, and continue to be the strong team that we know they are. So a tough loss here. Let's get points tallies and give you a player of the game as well. First for the host Hayden Wildcats, Haley Schmidtline got 11 points. Millie Ramsey led the team with 17, one of the seniors on this team. Bella Reed, another senior, got 6 points in her final regular season game. Riley Meyer, another senior, got 8, and Norma Jean Greco, another senior, put up 11 in this one. So it was only 5 different scorers and all 5 of their starters, so no points coming off the bench, but it did not matter. No problem putting up 53 for the Wildcats tonight. On the Cardinals side of things, senior Hannah Keltner in her final regular season game only was able to get 1 point. Bryn Dieterding put up 7. Izzy Brunkow led the team with 8. Ava Dye got 6. Kuntz got a couple in her final regular season game. Rychek, another senior, got a couple points off the bench. Carly Owens put up 4 as well. Allison got some minutes in at the end of this one here in her final regular season game too. But they are not done, thankfully, here this season. We will see these Lady Cards once again without question. Looking at the different performances, we got to pick that Barbed Wire Barbecue Who's Smoking player of the game, and I think I'm going to just go ahead and give it to Izzy Brunkow here tonight. I think the leading the team in scoring, but I don't think that they didn't score as much as they wanted to at all, so we can just look past that. But the effort that she put in, she had to match Norma Greco and did a good job doing that for a lot of the game. And she played through injury. She was clearly uncomfortable, and you could see how much they kept having to put in Avery Warren. That was more than they typically use her in place of Brunkow. That just shows that she's playing through stuff right now. But she did it. She put in a strong effort, did a great job here. So we will give it to the sophomore, not for the first time, Izzy Brunkow, as our Who's Smoking player of the game from Barbed Wire Barbecue.
I'd say honorable mention to Carly Owens, too. Playing really, really well. Maybe not on the point totals, but did a good job to give them some momentum midway through there.
I liked the way that Rychek played, too. She didn't get a whole lot of chances off the bench, but when she did come in, was putting in a lot of effort. Avery Warren would be another. Had to, we give it to Brunkow, but Warren had to play a lot because Brunkow wasn't feeling great, and Warren, she did well to try and match who she was filling in for. She understood the task of replacing Izzy Brunkow. That's not something where you can just go out there and be a passenger in this game. You need to be a driving force on the defensive effort, and Warren did that. She was feisty, particularly on rebounds, which for somebody who stands at 5'3", that's a tough task with how tall this Hayden team is. So a lot of different honorable mentions that we can give it to. But yes, Brunkow, our player of the game. We will go to a commercial break, and when we're back, it'll be pregame show for the boys basketball game.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the Drug Facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the Drug Facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drugfactslabel. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with our delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
All right, so that will conclude our post-game show and begin our pre-game show brought to us by Kaw Valley State Bank. Hayden, what's your report on this one as we take on the school also called Hayden?
Love that. Thanks for giving me the shot at it. No, looking at the history between these two teams first, same story as previously with the Topeka Hayden Wildcats. They have played each other in back-to-back seasons, but going back beyond that, it's been at least 17 years at minimum since the two teams have clashed prior to that point. Last year they played in Eudora. That game was won by Eudora by a mere 2 points, score of 58-56 in that one. And then the year before, 22 and 23 season, they played in Hayden here in this building, and that was a mere 4-point victory for the Cards, 54-50. So scoring in the mid to upper 50s for the Cards both times, and they're 2-0 against these Hayden Wildcats in the lifetimes of all these players, presumably. Looking at the point totals, the way they score, very offensive-based team the Wildcats are. They average giving up 51 points a game, which is fairly high. Cards are right around that. They give up about 54 per game, but the Wildcats score 58.5 as their total on average on the year, and that got much higher in a couple of different games. Actually, against Independent High School this year, they scored 91 points in a game. Didn't necessarily have a ton of bearing, but I couldn't not mention that when I was scrolling through and saw it. So they're a very high-scoring team. That goes about 6 points over the average for the Cards. But both of these teams, when they tend to win somewhat comfortably more often than not. But their losses have usually been by decent deficits. Actually, it's the opposite on the Wildcats side. All of their losses this year were very close, most of them in the single digits. Their wins were usually somewhere around the 7 to 12-point range, a lot of fairly comfortable wins. And something that might play a factor as well, looking at this last football season, the home opener and the season opener for the Cards for football, the Topeka Hayden Wildcats came to town and won that game, as you said, 35-7. A lot of those same players might be on the court here tonight, so maybe a little bit of history between the teams as well.
So looking at it, Hayden, you have to say something that doesn't necessarily benefit the Cardinals. Looking at the Cardinals have won the last two matchups, pretty easy to say this is maybe the weakest Cardinals team in those 3 years.
Yeah, I would agree.
And it's the strongest Hayden team in those 3 years, because 2 years ago they went 12-12 and the Cardinals went 21-5. And last year the Cardinals went 13-8 and the Wildcats went 8-18. So both of those last 2 years, the matchup would have favored the Cardinals. This year, both teams come in just floating above 500, which is a good note for the Cardinals, because not that long ago they were 2 games below 500. They have guaranteed they will at least end this year at 500 at 10-9, and the Wildcats come in 11-8. So certainly not much to separate these teams, but just has to be said, Cardinals not what they've always been, and the Wildcats are looking better than they tend to. And it's funny you should say that these teams tend to win comfortably, because if you were watching Eudora Sports Live last night, you saw that that's not necessarily the recipe for the Cardinals. Or if you saw the last home game against Spring Hill, my goodness, we were literally shaking up in the booth with the way that one was going. So the Cardinals can win a close game, as they had a buzzer beater victory last night. Yeah, the Cardinals have been on a roller coaster. They lost 4 straight and now have won their last 3. So they find themselves at 10-9. No matter what, they're going to be 500. Could look to try and lock that in by finishing 11-9. There will still be no Cy Thomas tonight, which continues to be a big loss as he's working through a back injury. But yeah, the Cardinals find themselves with a good matchup here. I suppose we should maybe be careful of saying that it's supposed to be a close one, because we must have jinxed that first one.
Yeah,
but it is a matchup that looks like it could be a close one here on paper, certainly. And it is, again, senior night for the Wildcats, so they've got all kinds of show out here tonight. and it's going to be an emotional one for their seniors, just like we had for the game against Spring Hill. The seniors are going to be putting it all out there, and regardless, there will be tears at the end of this game for many people. It's not going to be the final game for the Cardinals either, but it is their final regular season game, and for all these seniors, it is their last final regular season basketball game, and that will be it. The only other games they'll have will be win or go home. So there will be a lot of emotions out there for both sides, no question here. We will go ahead and go to a break here on the pregame show with more than 13 minutes before tip-off.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community. With all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve, Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jean's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jean's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Jean's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Jean's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com. Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Just to quickly take a look at some common opponents here. The Wildcats played against Spring Hill, beat them 56-46, and played against Baldwin, beat them 63-49. That's actually the only two common opponents shared between the schools. Eudora against Spring Hill, they lost that one in overtime, 79-68, where they had the three-point lead with 5 seconds to go, but then in overtime just couldn't keep up. But then they also lost to Baldwin both times, 61-47 and 48-41 on the beginning and end of a 4-game slide before ending it with a win over Spring Hill, 68-64. So you can interpret those shared opponents how you would please, and factor in the fact as well that the Cardinals are without Cy Thomas, just a big loss. But we've seen in that the emergence of one Julian Otis. It has been really exciting seeing him play. He is a junior this year coming up from the JV team. I imagine that when he's in his senior season for the Cards, that's going to be a very special time. We'll see him make it rain from beyond the three-point line without question. We'll see if he can do that here tonight for the Cardinals, as he is involved here in the warm-ups, and so too is Ryan Osborne, who got that buzzer beater three over Lewisburg just last night. A super exciting moment there for the Cardinals to get that win from the jaws of defeat. So with over 9 minutes to go before our tip-off, it'll be brought to us by Main Street Scoops and Sweets. We'll go to another break from the Kaw Valley State Bank pregame show.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
It's me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
the MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
So the Wildcats come in having won 3 of their last 4. But looking at the Cardinals, things have come in 4s for them quite a lot. They had a 4-game win streak, including that tournament victory, of course, in the Tongi Invitational. And then after that, went on a 4-game skid. They've won their last 3. So what does that mean, Hayden? I don't know. Is there anything else that you want to add in here on this pregame analysis?
Yeah, I did have one little blip that crossed my mind as we were hitting the entrance there, and it's exactly what you just said. These two teams' regular seasons, although they've ended up very close on the overall totals, it's been a very different story for how these two teams got to these respective points. I don't know if we've said it yet. The Wildcats sitting at 11-8 coming in on the year, 10-9 for the Cards. The Cardinals, as you said, have gone on a lot of up and down, right? A lot of sustained winning and then sustained losing to go back with it. Reiterate one more time, won 4 in a row mid-season, including that tournament title. Then they lost their next 4, and they're currently, if they were to win today, they'd be on a 4-game win streak, as you said, coming in 4s. Whereas going the other way for the Wildcats, they have been an incredibly consistent team all regular season. Their wins and losses have basically been 1 or 2 at a time the entire regular season, all the way down. They've, of course, won. They usually win 2, lose 1, win 2 or 3, lose 1. The only streak I found this entire regular season for them was a 3-game win streak in late January, which did include a win over a shared opponent of theirs, Frontier League, Baldwin. So it's been, a different regular season for these two teams, but they look very even coming into it. You said earlier, maybe a different tale today compared to the last 2 matchups, as the Wildcats may come in with their best team in the last 3 seasons, and the Cards may be coming in with their least impressive team of the last 3 years, despite the fact that they've had a really impressive season and a lot of really impressive spurts throughout the year. But it's looking to be a really good one here. I think Wildcats got to be feeling good, and the Cards got to be feeling like they want to try to prevent that skid from starting up again.
Well, you mentioned to me, Hayden, that you were talking with Errol Seaman before this one. Do you want to say a little bit about what that conversation was like?
Yeah, we essentially started a little conversation, messaging back and forth, and I asked him about tonight. Said, do you have any insights on players or rosters or anything we should be aware of for tonight? And he said, not really. I don't know a ton of the players. I don't know a ton about the team, but I know my game against them in the football season didn't go how I wanted it to, and I got some unfinished business to attend to. I said, it sounds like a good night to finish it, and he said, you better believe it.
We saw what Errol Seaman can look like when he is determined in that Spring Hill game. It was the senior night for the Cardinals. He really was really put in a strong performance and led the team when he saw that they were struggling, slipping in their confidence. So a determined Errol Seaman is a dangerous Errol Seaman. It sounds like we will be seeing that here tonight.
And
go ahead.
Sorry, for those unaware of what we may be referencing, Week 1 was against Topeka Hayden in the football season. Errol Seaman broke his collarbone in that game and did not end up returning for the rest of the season. So give a little bit of context. He certainly has a get-back he'd like to grab tonight.
One thing before we go to another break here, I want to tell you once again about ESF Give Day coming up here soon. It'll be on March 5th when the Eudora Schools Foundation will host their 4th annual ESF Give Day, which is a 24-hour fundraiser to benefit every student, every teacher, and every school in USD 491. Their big goal is $70,000 to enrich student experience, reward teaching excellence, and make Eudora schools the very best. Your gifts, both large and small, will help them achieve their mission and their goals. You can help them kick off this campaign by donating today at eudoraschoolsfoundation.org for more information, or you can go to the link or QR code on your screen. That's ESF Give Day coming up here very soon. March right around the corner. Where did February go? Just gone like that already on the second to last day of the month. And that means we're closing in on the end of this basketball season too, as it draws ever closer to the postseason. So we will sign off here one last time, 3.5 minutes before tip-off from Main Street Scoops and Sweets.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community. With all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve, Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
All right, welcome back in here to Top City, Kansas, here in Topeka, where the Cardinals will be taking on the Hayden Wildcats. Final game here of the regular season for both of these teams. They've had somewhat of a middling season for both of them, and it's going to be both teams will end at 500 or above at the end of this one, but we will see who comes out on top here in just a little bit. As let's listen into PA here to get our starting lineups.
Activity programs at Hayden High School are designed to provide positive learning experience for all students. We thank you for your attendance, your positive support, and your courtesy to all who make this competition possible. We'd like to welcome our visitors from Eudora High School. Good luck to both teams and good sportsmanship to all. Please rise for our invocation. Let us pray. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Almighty and ever-living God, bless these athletes as they enter into this contest. Protect them from injury and instill in them a profound respect for each other, that their conduct may give glory to your name. Grant to all who are gathered here perseverance through the hardships of life, so that keeping our eyes fixed on Christ, we may win the imperishable crown awaiting for us in your kingdom, where you live and reign forever and ever. Amen. Our Lady, Queen of Victory, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Please remain standing, removing your hats, placing your hand over your heart as we present our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs burst
Thank you. Now, introducing the starting lineups for tonight's game. First, our visitors from Eudora High School. The 5'9" senior, number 0, Micaiah Jerome. At 6'6", a sophomore, number 4, Ryan Osborne. At 6'2", a senior, number 5, Errol Seaman. At 5'9", a senior, number 13, Connor Watson. And at 6 foot, a freshman, number 24, Cash Snyder. The Cardinals are coached by Tyler Cleveland, assisted by Drew Steffen and Wrigley High. Now, the starting lineup for your Hayden Wildcats. At 5'9", a senior, number 0, Trey Banks. At 5'9", a senior, number 2, Brady Hayden. At 6'3", a senior, number 3, James Kuda. At 6 foot, a senior, number 11, Landon Power. And at 6'3", a senior, number 40, Cooper Swizzler. Your Wildcats are coached by Dwayne Anthony, assisted by Austin Crow and Connor Defferbaugh.
So it's all seniors in the starting lineup for senior night. No surprise there. Trey Banks, Brady Heinen, James Kuda, Landon Power, Cooper Swizzler are the 5 seniors on this Hayden team. And on the other side for the Cardinals, Micaiah Jerome, Ryan Osborne, Errol Seaman, Connor Watson, and Cash Schneider are the starters. So that's 3 seniors, a sophomore, and a freshman in the starting lineup for the Cards. We've seen this lineup going for a little while now at this point, as they have been essentially trying to cope with the loss of Cy Thomas for the time being with the back injury. This tip-off brought to us by Main Street Scoops and Sweets, where they offer premium Wisconsin-made ice cream from an in-house bakery with a variety of delicious baked goods. It's always ice cream time at Main Street Scoops and Sweets, and it is basketball time here in the gym of the Wildcats. The Wildcats are wearing white with the blue shorts. Cardinals in their all maroon red. Moving the ball around here early. Still no shot clock for this game. So these teams go to battle here. The Cats versus the Birds. And going down to the ground. And no foul will call, so rather a travel call against Trey Banks. Number 0 against number 0, the 2 seniors, Micaiah Jerome and Trey Banks.
Yeah, so good to see Banks return to his feet as well. Took a pretty hefty spill right there on that ankle.
Here is Osborne with looking for a creative pass in for Errol Seaman, but a little too creative. Meanwhile, cutting towards the basket, Heinen lost the handle on it. Now Watson breaks down court. Jump pass, finds Schneider, or does it? It does not, but it will stay in possession of the Cardinals. The Cardinals trying to be fancy here with the passes so far.
It's been a familiar sight too. Passing lanes look clogged up and congested.
Looking a little more viable though for the Cardinals. Schneider did well to hold possession, and then the bounce was too late on that bounce pass from Osborne, but it works out enough to find space for Schneider, and can't make the Wildcats pay for leaving him wide open, at least for the time being.
It's all right. Would have been a great opener though.
So we stay scoreless. Will Heinen be able to change that? He will not. Banks rebounds and then has it taken away by Seaman, and a whistle blows for a foul against number 0 on Hayden. So that's Trey Banks.
Number 0, Trey Banks.
Unrelated to this game, something I wanted to say is we plan to get some interviews with some seniors from the girls basketball team just to make sure we treat these 2 teams equally here on Eudora Sports Live. We'll do that before their first postseason game, hopefully.
Number 3, James Kuda.
James Kuda will open our scoring here tonight. Here's Jerome against a couple different defenders. Held possession there and going to get a jump ball he had also tried to pass it out and just couldn't get rid of it. Very awkward there for him. He did a good job to get the jump ball, which means the Cards can maintain possession. Everybody can stand up on their feet. Here's Connor Watson. Now Jerome, and it found its way back to Watson. Wasn't a pass, but doesn't matter. Schneider for Osborne, wanting to turn, but couldn't find much space, and will draw a foul there.
Going to the line for the Cardinals. Number 4, Ryan Osborne. Foul is on Hayden. Number 40, Cooper Swisley.
Osborne couldn't get the first to go.
I will say, seems to be a very different story to the start of this game compared to the start of the last one. Cards do seem a lot more relaxed and comfortable as opposed to how the girl Cards were looking. Start off the last game, Osborne will sink the second. Deficit is now just 1.
Well, this boys Wildcats team is a lot less powerful, you could say, than their girls basketball team. Still a great team that will have a winning season regardless. Swizzler making me want to take my words back.
Hey, you said still capable.
Yes, no, it's still true, but they wanted to get an immediate response. In response, what does Osborne have to reply? Won't get that one to go. Cardinals 0 for 2 here early from beyond 3 with their 2 best shooters taking a crack at it, Schneider and Osborne. I guess they're 2 best on the court. Cy Thomas would have a say in that one if he were here.
This is certainly not a concerning start, however. We've seen them take a little while to get rolling before. Nothing we haven't seen before there, but definitely a slightly slower start than the Cards would have liked as we open this one up.
The lone senior that did not start, Jacob Deister, will go in for Trey Banks. Errol Seaman finds Micaiah Jerome, corner to Osborne, along the baseline, dribbled behind his back and scores. Little flare on it, Osborne up to 3 points, so too are the Cards. This is Brady Heinen, the 5'5" senior. For Deister, stands 6'1", jump pass to the corner, driving, power, hands off, Deister, rather Heinen. This is Kuda. Swizzler pulls up, shoots, scores. The 6'3" senior already has 5 points.
He's been really, really effective tonight. And the defense for the Wildcats has certainly been aggressive, trying to keep that pressure on. Cards responding to it well, though.
Watson for Schneider in the corner. Cards now 0 for 3 from beyond the arc here. Kuda for Deister off the bench, won't get it. Strong rebound there for Schneider. Cage Crable waits to check in here. Watson able to leap and catch it, but couldn't hold on. So Deister takes it away. And now a weird looking 3, and it won't matter. Swizzler off balance, maybe even falling, jumping forward, draining it. He's got his team up to 10 points, and they're going to take this one away. Jerome couldn't find Osborne on the pass, but he's going to get a chance to take it back here. Jerome making up for it, but what will the Cardinals do? Nice pass across for Schneider, who lost the ball, was looking for a foul, won't come. Cage Crable and Braden Gardner will go in. Jerome and Errol Seaman go out. Gardner, another senior here tonight for the Cardinals.
For your Wildcats, returning to the lineup, number 0, Trey Banks.
Banks back into the fold for the Wildcats.
Gardner put up 8 points in the game against Spring Hill, where he got to be in the starting lineup because it was senior night. So put up a very solid performance, had a 3-pointer in that one, no pushover.
So he played really well
off the bench.
He's one of those bench players who can easily come off and make a big-time impact in a game if he's allowed the time to do it.
Ooh, took his eye off the ball there, did Landon Power as
took a trip into the stands.
Pass was intended for him. That's when coach says you got to say the person's name who you're passing it to. Power turned his head on that one, and they give possession away cheaply. The Cardinals have only put up 3 points in this one, all coming from Ryan Osborne. They haven't looked bad, but they haven't scored, so not really getting much end product. Here's Julian Otis, someone who is very capable of producing end product. Watson gets it to him in the corner. Didn't have enough space to shoot the three. Osborne might. Gardner definitely will, and he'll score.
The Cards may have had 3 opportunities to shoot from 3
Couldn't
there.
make out who it was for a second because the Hayden coach was in the way. The left hand of the senior, Braden Gardner, drains it. The Cardinals are within 4. Here's Gardner. Strong pass to Otis. Hands to Osborne. Jump, shoot, scores, and 1.
Wow.
Osborne lets Swizzler know, too. Some fans maybe.
Home crowd not loving it.
Yeah, looking for a foul there or something. As he just looked at him and said, "What's up?" It wasn't too much there, but not going to be a huge fan of that.
Reed, you actually mentioned it. That it showed right there as well. Even yesterday when he got the buzzer beater to win it.
Did the shot not count, it looks like.
Whoa, talking things
So
over now.
Coach and official talking things over. This is Coach Dwayne Anthony. So the basket does not count. It was a foul against them.
Interesting.
So Cardinals inbound, doesn't find a teammate. They turn it over on the inbound right in front of the very rowdy student section.
And that explained why the Wildcats wanted it so bad. Knew they could execute on it, but they're not going to get points.
Crable rebounds and has it absolutely slapped out of his hands, but it went straight to Gardner, who recovers the situation. Julian Otis. Watson across to Osborne. In the corner, Gardner again with the left hand. Not this time. Crable not tall enough to get that one against James Kuda, who stands at 6'3". Here's Swizzler. Another one of those awkward-looking threes. This time it won't go. Gardner comes down with the rebound, breaks down court. Banks got a hand in on it. Otis puts some handles in and will get a reach-in foul against Jacob Dicer. That's a 4th team foul here.
Sitting really close to the bonus, despite the fact that we're not quite 3/4 of the way through this first quarter. Still minutes left on the clock, but that bonus could come into play.
Now 3 players coming in, actually make it 4.
Entering the game for your Wildcats.
That's Hanukkah, Mitchell,
number 12, Hayden Mitchell, number 14,
Mason Becker, and Jace Wolf, all going in. 2 juniors, Hanukkah and Mitchell, 2 sophomores, Becker and Wolf. Here's Gardner. Otis. Osborne back to Otis for 3. Doesn't get it. And then the loose ball. Osborne got a hand in on it, but it wasn't enough to keep it away from Connor Hanukkah.
This game feeling really evenly matched so far, Reed, despite the point difference.
And is that going to be a shooting foul there on Crable, or was it on the floor? Players unsure. They do say shooting foul.
Number 5, Connor Hanukkah.
So Hanukkah just in off the bench, the 6'4" junior, and put straight to the line after Crable's first foul, Cardinals' second. Cassatt get the first to go.
Number 24.
Watson goes out, Schneider comes back in. And he won't get either to go. Osborne then rebounds. Boy, is he tall.
Boy, is he tall.
Took that one right off the rib.
That's quite the quote. Deep 3 from Osborne.
Couldn't get it. Crable rebounds, though. What can he do? Strong fight. And is that going to be an and 1? Does it count? Looks like it does. Crable will get a potential and 1 here. What a finish.
Man, he's been so good at that this year, hasn't he? Stepping into that role of being the guy who can fight through the contact and get the baskets and draw fouls. He's really stepped into that in the last month or so. And the attempt at the N1 goes.
Crable makes it a 3-point play. Something the Cardinals will hope to see a lot more of as his career goes on. He'll be a senior leader for the team next year. Jackson Smith, the final senior to get minutes in this one, coming in the first quarter. Loose handle there. Did he step out? He did. That's an unforced error on Mason Becker. Cardinals with a chance now to take the lead.
And that 5th foul to keep in mind. Wildcats sitting in the bonus now. So another foul would send the Cards to the line.
So the Cardinals in the bonus.
Cardinals in the bonus.
You're good.
Correct.
Schneider in for Smith, the senior with a strong step. Won't get the finish, and then Crable rebounded for a second, but didn't really get to control it. Taking it away was Becker, and now pulling up for three. The Wildcats don't get it. Deister no good, but Wolf rebounds.
Good job on the rebound.
They set up Deister again.
Working the perimeter a lot, the Wildcats are here. Using it as opportunities to open
Crable
up.
gets in a hand, and loose ball. Who touched it last? It'll stay a Wildcats ball.
Cardinals amped up on that one, though. A lot of the players out there on the court looking relaxed and pretty comfy at the moment.
Gardner staying in the face there of Cade Mitchell, but they do get the inbound. 40 seconds to go before the end of Q1. This is Jace Wolf.
Again, no shot clock, so they have the freedom to run this one pretty much all the way down if they'd like to.
Deister gets a pick, but doesn't find enough space to shoot. Driving now is Becker, and a whistle blows there for a foul in the paint that will benefit the Wildcats. It's foul against Gardner.
Fouls on the Cardinals' number 2, Braden Gardner.
That is only his first foul. Third for the team.
Found some space here for Deister. Moving it all the way across to Mitchell. And now Hanukkah. 20 seconds to go. Wolf put it off the bottom of the glass. Gardner.
Denied.
Otis. Back for Gardner. He's going to go back to Otis. 6 seconds now. Strong pressure here. Schneider couldn't get it. Still 1 second left. And they won't even go for the full court attempt. So it ends 10-9, a close fought first quarter. After a hot start for the Wildcats, they really hit the brakes. The Cardinals bring it back within one. We'll go to a break.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601.
Back here for the second quarter. After that ended 10-9 to the Wildcats. Got off to a quick start, but really slowed down. Cardinals did a little bit to capitalize, would have liked to have done more. They've returned most of their starting five out there, the only change being Crable in place of Osborne. This is Hanukkah. And denied by Crable. Schneider with a beautiful pass to Watson. He's under pressure, though. He doesn't miss. Cardinals in the lead.
Number 13, Connor Watson.
Beautiful start there for the Cardinals.
And that's that senior presence you've spoken about. Those players just being so clutch in the moments when it's mattered big for them. And here's a shooting foul.
Going to the line for your Wildcats, number 12.
So quickly to the line goes the junior Cade Mitchell for a foul on Micaiah Jerome. Just like that, we're tied. And he goes 2 of 2. Very nicely done there for Mitchell. So the Wildcats back in the lead. Jerome across to Watson. Prodding away, going back and forth, switching sides. Schneider brings it down. Nice pass to Watson in space. Doesn't want the three. Jerome does. And he doesn't get it. Crable, though, with a nice rebound.
Ooh,
under
nearly had the
pressure
ball
still.
taken away.
And now Schneider jumps for Errol Seaman, and now Jerome again. Doesn't get it the second time either, but Crable rebounds again. Now Seaman. Still Errol Seaman, and going to draw a foul. Nicely done by the senior, his specialty.
As he does oh so well.
For a foul there against
number 2,
Brady Hayden.
How about Cage Crable on those rebounds?
Yeah.
2 of them really nicely done off the missed threes from Jerome.
He'll bring this one down before handing off for the Baker commit. Baker signee at this point, Errol Seaman. Gets it across to the Barton commit, Connor Watson.
Nicely done.
Back for Errol Seaman. Now Jerome again. For Crable. Spins. Doesn't want to shoot. Gives it to Errol Seaman. What a pass for Schneider. How did it not drop in for him?
That pass was gorgeous
and the
from
shot
Errol
looked
Seaman.
great too. Schneider will go to the line because of it, but I can't believe that didn't drop.
I mean, that one goes, we say percentages sometimes. That one's got to go 95% of the time. That was beautiful.
Well, he just put the perfect touch on it.
Right, so well dropped.
And it's going to end up working out for Hayden to have fouled him. They'll put back in Swizzler for Mitchell. And Crable will come out for Osborne.
Now due to that first shot, as you said, guaranteed to not lose more points than they would have lost on that one.
They do get one. So we are tied at 12s here. Here is number 12. Passes for Swizzler.
Feels like points have been so valuable today,
Hayden
too.
Doesn't get it. Errol Seaman gets the loose ball rebound. Here's Connor Watson. Passing lanes covered up generally, but he finds Schneider. Seaman, no look pass to Osborne, who then has it knocked away from him by Swizzler. A bounce pass sets up a finish. It won't go there for Mason Becker. So Watson, now Schneider. The Cardinals catching up as they move it around, and Osborne won't get it. Cardinals struggling from 3 in this game. Here's Mason Becker.
Both teams struggling at the moment.
Kuda doesn't get it, but does he draw a foul? He does. He'll go to the line. Connor Watson can't believe the call.
He looks straight up amazed.
James Kuda.
Probably something to the tune of how on earth.
Number 13, Connor Watson.
Watson really felt like he had his feet set there. Fans feel the same. But doesn't matter here. The official decided to send Kuda to the line. Does not get the first to go, and now Watson will step out for Caden Dunback's first minutes.
Caden Mitchell. Entering the game for the Cardinals, number 10, Caden Dunback.
For Watson, it's already his 3rd foul. So he's going to have to be walking on pins and needles for the rest of this game.
Yeah, he's someone who's so valuable late.
We've got a technical here.
Number 13.
So that's how it's up to his 3rd foul. It was his 2nd, and then he committed a tech, they say. So that's going to hurt a lot. Means more free throws for James Kuda.
First one gives him the lead.
Or unless they want to go to somebody else, because James Kuda did his 2, and they will opt to go to Swizzler here on the technical free throws. So those were the 2 for the shooting foul. These ones are now for the technical. Swizzler does get the 2nd one to go, and so now they should also start with the ball. So a big penalty there, as there must have been a little too much complaining for the officials' liking following that blocking call. So the Wildcats got some extra free throws and the possession here. Thankfully for the Cardinals, it's a close game, so it only sees them up by 2. Swizzler into the paint, shoots and scores. Now they're up by a couple shots.
Really well done there. Wildcats doing a good job to put a little bit of pressure on the Cards here, trying to prod them a little bit, see how they answer back to it.
I love the switches from the Cardinals, just a way to try and open up different passing lanes. Some creative movement as well between Dunback and Jerome, but Osborne going to be hit with the travel call here. Hayden were only trailing a few minutes, or a minute ago of game time, and now a chance to go up by more than a couple possessions.
Yeah, it's an opportunity that they don't want to waste if they want to hold on to this one. Cards have been so good late in games down the stretch as of late at just hanging around. They're able to build a bit of a gap here before half, put them in a really good spot going into the break.
Baker along the line, Becker rather finishes.
Number 13.
Now the gap grows to 6.
Here is Jerome and Dunback doing that same, switching it back and forth as they keep their eyes down court, looking to try and open up the angles as the Hayden team switch back and forth along with the ball. Jerome all by himself, can't get it, and no one on the Cardinals team there for the rebound. So the Wildcats storm back with it. This is Cade Mitchell into the paint against Errol Seaman, and Errol Seaman draws the charge. That was Cade Mitchell hit with the foul. Will negate the basket, give the Cardinals the ball. It's Mitchell's first, team's third. Both teams are at 3 fouls this quarter. Some nice movement here between Dunback and Jerome. Osborne back to Dunback. Hands for Schneider. Didn't really know what else to do with it. Dunback in the corner. Jerome in some space. No one else on this side of the court for him. Cardinals clearly love trying to attack the weak side of the play here all day. You can see they're doing it, and they're going to find space for Osborne, who will make them pay. Love the ball movement from the Cardinals here.
Dude, it's been unreal, and when you can get Ryan Osborne rolling, they can put themselves in a really pretty spot once Osborne starts dropping threes. One of the most dangerous players in all of 4A.
You can see the scouting report is clearly attack the weak side. Weak side just meaning the side where there are fewer players on the court, and the Cardinals just going to keep switching it back and forth, making the Hayden defense have to keep their heads on a swivel. And this time, though, they get attacked at the weak side of the play, but able to come away with it. So Seaman nearly had it taken away, and then almost again. Osborne for Jerome this time. Jerome nearly having it taken away, and it does get taken away, but then he goes out of bounds. Does Banks, so it'll stay Cardinals ball. And now Gardner will go in for Micaiah Jerome, one senior for another.
And every time players sub in or out for this team, I'm reminded how strong the bench is for the Cards. I mean, they've got so many impact players.
Well, we've seen how Coach Cleveland loves to rotate. Some of the players don't like it so much, but it keeps players fresh and healthy a lot more. But he likes to rotate a lot here. Schneider couldn't get it. Nice tip there from Gardner. Keeps the ball in Eudora possession. That's a big play there for the 5'8 senior.
You'd love to see these threes start
nice
dropping.
Nice for Schneider, and he'll score. What a pass from Gardner.
Number 24,
Braden Gardner continues to make impact plays out here. The senior getting now some more significant minutes here in these last couple of games, and he's done well with them.
They're back within a point, but that might change. It won't, and Gardner rebounds. The lefty senior with a nice pass to Dunback, who gives it to Osborne. The Cardinals are in the lead.
Beautiful. So well done. Dunback drew essentially the entire defense in the paint right over to him. Nifty little pass over to Osborne, who had nobody there. Beautifully applied.
How about the vision and ways reading the game from Caden Dunback? He's come in here off the bench and factored into this ball movement strategy absolutely perfectly. In fact, I think he might be the one moving it the best for the team right now, just creating exactly what Coach Cleveland wants here for this team. And they're looking like a soccer team, the way they're bouncing around and breaking down the defense. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and as you said, I mean, it's impressive to be maybe the best player at it. Even more so coming off the bench when you haven't played very much at all. Like, he incorporated into this scheme and this play style so seamlessly. You'd think he'd been the focal point of it all week.
And the Cards have already overcome that technical foul. Still haven't seen Watson return to the court since it, which makes sense with the 3 fouls. We're going to want to protect him. But the Cardinals back in the lead. There's been 3 lead changes in this game. Cardinals back on top, but only by a point. Have to play some good defense here. Moving it around, this is Hanukkah. Yet to score in this one. Now for Mitchell, who has a couple points, won't get any more at the moment. Gardner comes away with it, looking for a way to get rid of the ball. Finds Dunback. He and Gardner, again, going back to the switching of the court. Going back and forth from the far side to the weak side. Strong side to the weak side. Schneider looking for space off the dribble. Errol Seaman finds Dunback. Under 2 minutes to go here before halftime. Cardinals able to move the ball, but not really finding their shooters at the moment.
I think that's very intentional by the Wildcats, too.
Here's Osborne out for Seaman. Now Gardner will get a chance, and just couldn't get it. Swizzler with the rebound. Now just over 90 seconds to go before half. Another chance for the Wildcats to take the lead. They won't do it. Dunback rebounds, moving quickly. Turns around. slows things down now. He has Gardner open for the near side switch, but dribbles past the first defender. Now does find Gardner.
Wildcats look fairly rushed on the offensive side, but defensively doing a pretty good job shutting down the shooters for the Cards, making them get creative.
Errol Seaman, Dunback. No one really finding much space. And Dunback couldn't find Osborne, but then the play, oh boy, what do we got? The basket is negated by a charging call there. It was, the pass originally turned the ball over, but then the Wildcats tried to keep it in. Osborne took it, put up the shot, did score, but called for charging. His first foul, team's fourth.
And of course, only a minute left here. Now in the half, but 4 fouls on the board for the Cards, 3 fouls on the board for the Wildcats. So something to keep an eye on. Yeah, such a pretty shot by Osborne to be negated, but very physical at the point. Not going to complain about that call.
Deister spins against 3 Cardinals. He'll score and restore the Wildcats' lead.
Now just under 35 to go. Wonder if the Cards are going to try to slow it down, maintain possession up to the last shot. Looks like might be the strategy.
Well, they haven't really been able to get the ball into the hands of their shooters much, so I think if the opportunity comes, they'll just go ahead and take it, but that might not come very quickly. And now you do see Gardner take a step back, and in fact, Coach Cleveland will call a timeout. So we'll go ahead and take a quick break too.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Cards!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Eudora Sports Live is presented by Kansas Insurance, where they believe in taking time to issue personal care and attention to each individual client. To see how Kansas Insurance can help you protect what matters most, call 913-369-6600. So just 18 seconds left in this one. Cardinals with the inbound following their timeout call. No shot clock to factor in here for the Cards. It's Gardner, Schneider, Dunback, Osborne, and Crable out there as the inbound, going to make Schneider have to retreat a long way.
No foul on it though.
He'll get out of the backcourt in time here, slowing things down. Osborne will just turn and lob it up. A ridiculous shot selection there for him, and it's going to cost the Cardinals points. Osborne maybe thought he was fouled or just didn't have any passing option, but that was a crazy decision to lob that one up, and it makes it so that rather than a 1-point gap, it's a 3-point gap going to the break, but the Cardinals still right there as we go to halftime. Keep it here for the halftime show.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jean's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jean's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Jean's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Jean's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community. With all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve, Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
Hey, I'm Mike Rowe, here today to encourage you to connect with 811 before you dig.
And I'm Mike Rowe, and I'm here because I love to dig in the dirt.
It's true. He's also here because he's very small and not that bright.
Here, for instance, we can see Micro doing what he loves to do.
And here we can see the consequences of not doing what he should have done. Dude, why didn't you call 811?
I forgot the number.
See? Not that bright.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jean's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jean's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Jean's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Jean's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com.
All right, Jean's Heartland Foods halftime show, as they've got a 3-point contest going on here in the gym. At Jean's Heartland Foods, you can shop local and support local. Visit their website, eudora.heartlandfoodstores.com, to sign up for exclusive offers and rewards today. So, 22-19, our halftime score. The Cardinals would have had at least that quarter tied, but instead they go into the halftime break 12-10. It was a weird ending there. I don't think one that we should harp on too much, but definitely does factor in, as it was only going to be a 1-point deficit. Instead it's a 3, and it was going to be a tied quarter where they just held on to only being behind by 1, but instead they lost the quarter by a couple, so the deficit grows a little bit larger. But just focusing on that whole halftime performance, the Cardinals looked good. I liked the way that they were switching the play, attacking the weak side. If they're going to keep doing that, threes are going to be really big. I know we always call out threes. It's becoming a bit of a cliche, but with the way that they're playing, it's actually going to be very important, because they're going to move the ball from the far side of the court, strong side, to the weak side, whichever way that is. And if they can find somebody open, if it's Jerome, if it's Gardner, especially if it's Osborne or Schneider, you want them to pull the trigger. Otherwise, if they switch to find somebody maybe like Watson or Jerome, who's not exactly behind the three-point line, they need to just drive quickly and put it up, because they're trying to catch the Hayden defense out of position. And if they do it, they just need to capitalize. Don't let that opportunity go by if they're going to keep moving it like that. And we've highlighted Caden Dunback seems to be the best of that ball movement, but everybody getting in on it. Jerome and Gardner were doing very well. There's a lot of creative passing. It's a very pretty basketball being played by the Cardinals, which is absolutely welcome. Hayden, what do you make of that first half on the whole?
Yeah, I think you just gave it a really good tone. I think Braden Gardner and Caden Dunback were really, kind of out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere, but really impressive players showing up in this match off the bench. They've both had a really good impact. But I think the point you echoed initially will reign true for the entirety of the game, that when you get the opportunities and they present themselves in a manner where the likelihood is good to take them, you need to pull the trigger on that. Especially in a game like this that's as close as it is, as tightly contested as it is. The last thing you want to do is early on in the second half find yourself kind of holding back on a lot of shots that present themselves, because it's the kind of game where you could very easily later in the fourth quarter be looking at it going, I should have taken that opportunity. We had a 3 right there we could have had. We had a layup there. It's going to be kind of a no-regrets style of game. And the Wildcats have done a pretty good job to this point of not letting the Cards get these huge runs of momentum like we've seen before, where Schneider drops a 3 and Osborne drops a 3, and you see them start flying up and down the court with near-perfect efficiency. Wildcats have done a really good job of limiting that, but on the flip side, Cards have done the exact same thing. We've never really seen a huge run of momentum for the Wildcats. They did start off fairly hot, but Cards did reel them right back in quickly, and since then, it's been a really tight match. We've seen fouls go both ways, a lot of physicality played on both sides. But overall, nobody's fully taken over yet, and it's been a pretty defensive first half. I think keys for the second half for the Cards are going to be, taking those opportunities when you get them. They were moving the ball around phenomenally in that first half. I mean, you and I both highlighted it. Even early on, as soon as they would get the inbound, they're moving the ball side to side as much as they possibly can. And you would see, Osborne particularly got open a time or two on that. And you're seeing opportunities present themselves a decent bit. I want to see a lot more of that in the second half, and then pulling the trigger on those shots when they present themselves. I'd love to see Julian Otis maybe have a 3 or 2 sunk in the second half, as he's been so good at that as of late. And the Wildcats going to want to continue to score points, continue to play good, tight defense, and maybe try to close up the passing windows a little bit to try to prevent the Cards from moving the ball around at will the way they have been.
I know we've said it before in games, but it's been true before and it's true again. If the threes start hitting, the Cardinals are right where they want to be.
Absolutely.
They're down by 3 right now. We've had multiple Schneider and Osborne misses. We had an Otis miss. I think we had one from Jerome as well. Gardner,
two from Jerome.
Gardner, I think, has the only one that went. We may have seen one from Osborne. I don't remember exactly. But
I believe so.
It's if those start hitting, they're in the lead, not just in this one. They're right in the lead, and so that's going to be a real difference this second half if they keep moving the ball the way that they have, which I really like that, and I hope that they continue to do that. So yeah, we will see what comes of this second half. I also like really just to call it out, Cage Crable's involvement.
Yes.
You mentioned the strong rebounding. That is always so huge. It maintains possessions. It keeps them away from the other team. That is such a big thing that sometimes goes under the radar or goes underrated, but Crable will always fight for a contested one and position himself even for an uncontested one, which is also a big factor. So a strong performance from a couple different players, not seniors, here on the final regular season game. And 45 seconds from Tip. What you got here?
You're good. Just to echo one more, what you said about the threes. If the threes start hitting, not only are the Cards likely in the lead, they're putting themselves right where they want to be as a team in terms of how they're playing, because that's maybe the only thing left on the table from that first half. They're moving the ball around well, playing good defense. Threes start dropping. This is a prime Cardinals team.
Actually, we'll go ahead and just keep you here as they're going to get going here for the third quarter.
Number 24, Schneider.
Hayden, the scoreboard.
Yep, gotcha.
Good. So Cardinals beginning with the ball here. Watson, Jerome, Osborne, Seaman, Schneider out on the court. So the 3 seniors that started this game. They haven't seen a lot of minutes for Errol Seaman in this one. Osborne wanting to turn, didn't really get to make any progress back there, but will still be a Cardinals ball as it goes out along the baseline. You saw these inbounds be a problem right in front of the student section this time. A
little more peace and quiet.
Yeah, not so much of a rumble behind the head of Watson.
But even then, Wildcats clearly pretty good at closing up lanes.
Floats that
Watson
one
going to go deep.
To Jerome. Jerome across to Watson. You see this back and forth here, and now down for Schneider in front of the bench. Errol getting involved. Another high switch here. Not really able to break them down, but still connecting, just leaving themselves an option. A spin back out from Osborne. Jerome. Jump pass for Errol Seaman. Tried to roll it out to Schneider, just couldn't do it. Cardinals never really found a chance to shoot there despite moving the ball very well. Here's James Kuda, bounce pass into Hanukkah against Osborne, looking to find a lane to shoot. Will fade away, couldn't roll it in. Loose ball, Schneider comes away with it. 2 Hayden players down on the ground at the backside. Cardinals couldn't really take advantage of the numbers, but Osborne in the corner and off the corner of the backboard, but now Watson passes up on that one. Schneider doesn't get it, and the Wildcats rebound. That's a big let off there. The Cardinals couldn't take advantage of the 5v3. There was just a strong press there by multiple Hayden defenders. And now in the corner here is Deister, and bounces in and out. Osborne able to keep it in. Watson finds Errol Seaman under pressure and then came down hard against Mason Becker. And speaking of coming down hard, Schneider trucks the Wildcats defender. Moving quickly here, but no one scored yet. Swizzler will go in.
It's a weird combination. It's been an incredibly fast-moving start to the second half,
frenetic,
but at the same time,
I'd say.
Yeah, maybe not even a controlled speed. Just both teams seem to be extremely urgent, but nothing showing up on the board yet.
So now the Wildcats moving it around, trying to find that space into Hanukkah in the paint against Osborne. Bounce off the glass, again off the glass.
Wow.
Couldn't get it to go. Now, though, a three-point attempt, and that will come. Cade Mitchell puts himself up to 5 points, our first points of the second half. Sees the Hayden lead grow to 6.
And as you mentioned, instead of the three starting to drop early for the Cards, first one to go is for the Wildcats, and that stretches the lead from
Osborne
very
in
close
space,
to uncomfy.
And it's canceled out just like that.
Cardinals, number 4, Ryan Osborne.
I think Osborne can hear us.
Great response there, but a quick response again for Hayden. No, won't go. Loose ball. Cardinals get it. Watson all the way across the three seniors connect to put Jerome in some space. Jerome trying to put the dribble on two different defenders, and going to be a jump ball, which will go the way of Hayden. Every time there's a swarm right on the first person into the offensive half. We've seen at least just the second half. I don't remember seeing that much in the first half, but specifically when it's Micaiah Jerome, they have just swarmed around him immediately, not letting him find any space to spin. Otis goes in for Jerome here now for the Cardinals. Mitchell across to Deister. Hanukkah. Corner for Mitchell. Drive, shoots, scores. He's got all the points for the Wildcats in this quarter. And before Julian Otis gets things going for the Cardinals, they will take a timeout. So Hayden, not the greatest start for the Cardinals. The three was nice, but what are you seeing for him here?
No, they're not moving the ball quite as well, and the Wildcats truly are just doing a better job of staying on them, keeping the intensity up to the point where they've never, they've been able to move the ball around the perimeter well, but really, really struggling up in the paint to find opportunities to take those higher percentage shots. And the Wildcats have opened up this third quarter with a lot more scoring than we saw in that second quarter. They kind of went stagnant for a little bit there, late in the first, early in the second. Not the case now. They come out scoring quite a bit, and again, despite the three, as you said, from Osborne, 5-point advantage.
Yeah, so 27-22. That means that it's been 5 points so far for Hayden, only 3 for the Cards. The deficit growing a little larger for the Cardinals here. Otis and Watson connect here to get things going. Watson looking for space off the dribble, drives for Osborne in the corner and couldn't get it. No one there for the rebound, so breaking down now is Jacob Deister. He couldn't lay it in. Rebound, though, goes to Hayden, who can't score again. That time it was Hanukkah, and he's going to commit a foul. That was an impressive miss there from the Wildcats, and the Cardinals need some let-offs like that right now just because they're not in rhythm. Cage Crable going to get in there. If we're going to have trouble with rebounds, send Cage Crable out there to get things fixed.
Yeah.
He'll step in for Errol Seaman.
Rest assured, he'll get that problem taken care of in 2 or 3 business hours.
Next change would be Dunback to get the switch of play going back, but he's still sitting on the bench. It's Otis right now just going by himself up against Jacob Deister. Now to Watson in the corner. Cage Crable helping things move around. Hands off to Otis, who drives into the paint, wants to shoot, will score his first points.
Number 20, Julian Otis.
Cardinals within a shot now. Gardner comes up to the scorer's table. Cade Mitchell has 7 points. Gets a bit of a pick from Hanukkah, enough to get around and draw a shooting foul.
To the line, shooting 2 for the Wildcats, number 12.
Otis's first foul. Team's first as well.
And a missed free throw or two here would be really big for the Cards if they're able to capitalize on it. Still a one-shot game at the moment.
Mitchell 2 for 2 at the line.
The announcer jinx not strong enough. 3 for 3.
For the Cardinals, number 2, Brandon Gardner.
Senior for senior, Gardner for Watson. And on the other side,
14, Mason Becker.
sophomore for senior, Becker for Deister. Gets them both to go, staying perfect at the line, up to 9 points. Second on the team behind Swizzler's 13. And a foul going to be called against the Wildcats, their second. It is the first of the game for Connor Hanica. Gardner in for Cash Schneider. Jump pass, some nice movement. Sees Crable score. Absolutely beautiful ball movement from the Cards.
And the trend continues in the first half. Cards moving the ball really, really well, and that time capitalizing on it. That'll be the key to the game for them to get back up front here.
Swizzler off for Hanica. Moving in, looking to shoot, and banks it in. Quick response there. It's Hanica's first points.
Now maybe seeing a little bit of a ping pong match. Wildcats putting themselves in position where they know they can just trade back and forth here with the Cards.
You can see Gardner and Otis going for that switch of play that we've seen, going back and forth, and then Crable not really realizing that pass was intended for him. Now Hanica on the breakaway, nearly drawing an and one, but instead will go to the line for 2 free throws after Otis hit with his second foul, team second as well. Hanica 0 for 2 at the line, just got his first points in this one. And now Dunback will prepare to come in. So he goes in for Otis. You can expect to see he and Gardner soon working on that switch of play as they now start talking things over. And Hanica goes 2 for 2 that time, putting him at 50% in the game. Here is Osborne down to Schneider for Gardner. Backs things off for a second. Over to Dunback, back for Gardner in some space. Won't shoot because Schneider can, and couldn't get it though. Crable got a finger on it, enough to get it to Osborne, who will shoot, and he can't score. Crable gets another finger to it, but Swizzler comes away with the ball and draws a foul. Crable frustrated with how that possession didn't end with points, and instead ends with him committing his second foul, the team's third. They did very nicely to produce multiple big scoring opportunities, just didn't fall. Again, it was Schneider and it was Osborne. The two dudes you'd absolutely want taking the threes right now. Schneider will go out for some first minutes for Keelan Duncan.
Yeah, they've been struggling a little bit today on the threes, but Cage Crable has just been unreal rebounding today. He's had, I believe, minimum 4 or 5 rebounds that he has directly tipped up.
This 3 attempt for Becker won't go, but then a rebound for a moment, and it'll be a Cardinals ball after Kuda got a hand on it, but Osborne got it away from him and makes it a Cardinals ball. Cardinals need to fight back in this one. They had gotten within 1, but back down by 7 at this point. Beautiful passing. Crable couldn't lay it in, and the Cardinals don't rebound. Coach Cleveland upset that that one couldn't go. He thought the Cage Crable would have enough to get that one in. Loose ball, Duncan fighting for it. And then the pass in. What an interception by Hanica. That was really well done. The Cardinals had 1 possession, and Duncan was trying to find a teammate, but Hanica read it perfectly and also put his 6'4" frame to use, bringing it down out of the sky to win possession back for the Wildcats.
Entering the game for your Wildcats, number 15, Carter Compton.
Carter Compton goes in.
Up and good goes another.
By number 12, Kane Mitchell.
That was Mitchell.
Mitchell up to 11 points. Gardner does find Dunback on the switch here. Just unable to really get open here beyond the cross-court movement. Osborne gets up, gets high, brings it in and scores.
That feels really, really important to me, Reed, for how kind of stagnant the Cards had fallen. Shooting from close, I think Osborne knocking that one back maybe really big for momentum and morale here.
You can tell that Crable really wants this one. He's got a lot of fight out there. Some space for Becker to shoot, won't get it. The rebound, though, goes to the Wildcats, and they score. James Kuda.
It was a beautiful sequence right there from Kuda.
There's Osborne grabbing the switch, a loose ball, but Crable there to clean up the situation, maintain the Cardinal possession. Duncan into Osborne, who will shoot, who will score. 15 points for him now. Loose ball, he went out. Cardinals will take possession. Mitchell couldn't control it, rolled out, cheaply given away. Before things will get going again, Coach Dwayne Anthony will make a substitution. Deister goes in for Mitchell. Gardner jump pass for Dunback. Needs to get out of the backcourt here. Does get out. And now under all kinds of pressure, finds Gardner. The left hand pass for Crable. It will draw a foul. Team's third. And a first on Connor Hanukkah. Now Cash Schneider comes back for Keelan Duncan.
Number 24, Cash Schneider.
Oh, how a last-second three could change the complexion of this one.
That's number 2, Brady Heinen.
Brady Heinen goes in for Cooper Swizzler. Gardner with a high pass for Crable, who lost the handle on it. Now Kuda breaks away before drawing a foul on Cage Crable. He'll be frustrated with himself on that one. It'll be his third foul, team's fourth. And now Errol going to go in and grab Crable.
Yeah, 3 fouls for Crable is far from ideal.
Swizzler goes in for Heinen again. Inbounding is Deister, finding Hanukkah, who couldn't find the space to shoot. If that's a foul on Seaman, it'll be free throws. So it will be.
It is.
Number 5, Earl Seaman, going to the line.
That's his first foul of the game.
Number 5, Connor Hanukkah.
Hanukkah back to the line where he's now shooting at 50%. Went 0 for 2 to start. 2 for 2 his last time up. Now he's made 3 in a row.
Turning to the line for the Wildcats, number 2, Brady Heinen. Number 12, Tate Mitchell.
Stays at that 50% mark. 8 seconds left. Gardner across to Dunback. Schneider. And a foul. That'll be a 4th foul against the team.
Fouls on 8, number 2, Brady Heinen.
2nd on Brady Heinen. Schneider looking to find Osborne. Does connect. Osborne with his eye on the basket. He'll score. Osborne making things look a little better for the Cardinals by putting up 17 points, but they do trail by 6 here going to the 4th, a game they're certainly capable of winning. They've had the lead at multiple occasions, but really haven't been able to hold on to it. We'll go to a break.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
All right, Cardinals begin with the ball here, down by 6, something they're certainly capable of coming back in. They lost that quarter by 3. They have lost each quarter, lost the first one by 1, the next one by 2, last one by 3, but they will score first here through Ryan Osborne, who is approaching 20 points. That's his 19th.
Yeah, he's been the guy kind of carrying the team to this point, Reed. He's been, especially late in that third quarter, picking them up when they went down.
Watson will draw the charging foul. Beautifully done by the senior. He lost his bright yellow cleat in the process.
It's a familiar sight from last Friday, isn't it? He, of course, had that absolutely massive charging call drawn. in the dying seconds of that Spring Hill game.
So that's a third foul for Hanukkah. Watson looking for the switch, instead finds Errol Seaman. Now finds the switch to Jerome, who has to get up there, and get up there he does, and then spins into all kinds of space. Schneider, Seaman, bounce pass to Jerome, shoots and scores. What a movement for the Cardinals. First points for the senior.
Feels a little overdue for Jerome, as much as he was doing.
Oh, and now Seaman gets a hand in, takes the ball away, and now the Cardinals got it back and a chance to tie. Here's Watson, Schneider. Errol Seaman has to get up there, brings it in. Osborne across back for Jerome. Cardinals need to settle in a bit. The high energy playing to their favor, but now on offense can be methodical. Down by 2 all of a sudden, getting the first 4 points. This one, they want the lead. Oh, they won't get it. Moving down quickly, space for Mitchell. Hands off to Deister. Spins, Seaman took a swipe at it, didn't get it. First points for Hayden this quarter.
Number 4, Jacob Deister.
And now a whistle blows. What do we got here? A delay of game warning given to the Hayden bench.
Interesting.
Doesn't negate anything though, just
a warning
to not stop the opponents from getting the game back going. So they lead by 4 currently. Schneider will draw a shooting foul. Someone who is generally great at the line. 1 for 2 so far in this one.
I think this is a good chance for him to pick himself up on the threes. He's clearly a little down on that. I don't think he sank a 3 yet today.
He has not.
He's tried a lot of them. There's a good chance for him to kind of have a get-back moment. And he will. Gets the first one, puts him up to
number 3, James.
2 of 3 on the day now.
And he gets them both to go, something you'd expect him to do. Puts him up to 3 of 4 and also up to 5 points in the game. Brings the Cardinals back within a shot.
I wouldn't be surprised if that leads to some threes down the road. I think that was big for his morale. I think he needed that boost pretty badly.
Could be a big factor as this one goes on. Still in the first part of this 4th quarter, but a quick response for Hayden Swizzler. He's got 15 points here on his senior night. A performance that he'll remember one way or another.
We love to see big performances on senior night, regardless of who it is. Love it for these players.
Watson wants the 3. Speaking of seniors, couldn't get it, but Errol tips it to Schneider, who drives, shoots, and scores. Big putback there for the freshman.
Again, Schneider getting back on his game a little bit more.
Now the
Clutch
Wildcats going for that switch of play tactic a bit, liking what they're seeing from the Cardinals. Said, don't mind if we do take a little bit of that.
You'd hope the Cards have a strategy to stop that too, as much as they run it, however.
There is Kuda. He wants to shoot. Nearly got it, but Schneider gets the rebound uncontested. Now the Cards slow it down a bit. Watson against Swizzler. In the corner, Jerome took a look up at the pin, but won't. Schneider will, and he won't get it. The Wildcats on the return, a turn and spin, and then tried to pass it out off of Errol Seaman, and it didn't get it. Errol able to get the ball. I don't even know how he did that, but the Cardinals get possession. I genuinely don't know what he did. I'll see if I can watch this one back on the replay.
Idea. Unreal.
He was able to, so it was passed out off of him, it bounced, and then he was able to get it and then throw it off the player who had thrown it off of him out of bounds. So it does become a Cardinals basketball. Really savvy play by the senior.
Tough pass by Watson, though. Kind of an errant pass to nobody. Gonna give this one over to the Wildcats for possession, I believe.
Coach Cleveland calls a timeout. Watson holding his head as he walks towards the bench. Go ahead and keep you here as it's a 2-point lead for Hayden. So what are you seeing from the Cardinals? You were saying that you expected to see Schneider with some confidence. He got a chance from 3, was pretty open, couldn't get it. So what are you making on his performance individually and also just the team as a whole?
Well, I think he's clearly struggling a little bit. I would expect him to keep getting opportunities out of Coach Cleveland, very much so a player's coach in the sense that he's not going to take Cash Schneider kind of out of opportunities because he's not shooting super well, right? He's going to lean on him more even maybe and trust him, put him in those scenarios to start dropping some of those threes, which I firmly believe he will start to drop here. Too good of a player to not be doing that late in a game like this, but they're playing pretty well across the board, moving the ball around well, a tactic that the Wildcats have actually kind of taken away from them here in the fourth quarter in the sense that both teams are now doing it quite a bit. Really good ball movement still from the Cards. They're doing better to open up opportunities near the paint, closer to the basket than they were doing in the third quarter. So definitely setting themselves up fairly well. A little bit of good defensive play and some more of that shiftiness we've seen on offense, and they could very easily vault themselves into the lead here.
So it looks like it's actually a Cardinals inbound here. So they do still have possession.
A touch.
Watson looking for someone, but no one really finding a way to get open. Running out of time here, and they did run out of time before getting rid of it. So it becomes a Wildcats ball regardless along the line there. Just taking too long to get the inbound.
Number 14.
Now Jerome will go out in place of Keelan Duncan. Inbound quickly to Mason Becker, being chased by his opposing number 14, Keelan Duncan. Nearly lost the handle on it, back for Hanukkah. Just a 2-point lead, really slim here for the Wildcats. Hanukkah gets it taken away by Seaman. Errol goes to the basket, couldn't put it in. So the Wildcats now with the 3v1, it's just Watson back. And he can't stop the onslaught of the Wildcats. They've got a 4-point lead.
Man, such a huge moment from Errol Seaman to open that one up and maybe, seemingly had inevitably turned the tides in it and tied the game up. And just a good job on the Wildcats and a little bit of a mental lapse, it seems, from Seaman. Really tough moment in this situation in the dying minutes.
Those are always tough.
They are.
It seems so easy. It's a challenge against yourself.
And that's a wide open pass, right? It's so easy.
It's like the quote-unquote chip shot field goal where it's if there's nothing to gain, everything to lose. And so you get it in your own head. If you make it, no one's really proud of you. And if you miss, everybody's going to be mad. And
you see dropped interceptions that same way where it's all alone, and they start overthinking it.
But he also did have, I didn't see who it was, but he did have a Hayden defender in his periphery off to the right side, just keeping him uncomfortable. You can see he comes out letting out a sigh. Pretty unhappy with himself for not getting that one, and especially the fact that it led directly to a counterattack basket.
It's pretty mentally tough squad, however, though. We've seen them bounce back.
They're down by 4. Exactly 4 minutes left, halfway through this final quarter of regulation. Nice hesitation by Braden Gardner, the senior, coming in once again off the bench. Hands to Watson, bounce to Seaman. Now up for Osborne, who wants to shoot and couldn't get it. Hanukkah brings it down. Cardinals need to force a scoreless possession here for the Wildcats. Swizzler. Hanukkah against Errol Seaman. Watson got a hand on the ball, but it went straight to a teammate. That's just bad luck there for the Cardinals. Meanwhile, it might be some bad luck for Hanukkah, who comes up not feeling good. Osborne from so far downtown, that's insane. He's up to 22.
Big man, big shot.
That is ridiculous. Just like that, they're back within a shot, and a timeout going to be taken. This time we'll send you to a break. What in the world was that shot from Osborne?
Eudora Parks and Recreation is committed to creating community through parks, people, and programs. Their goal is to provide recreational opportunities for the community of Eudora that will enhance and promote a healthy lifestyle for all ages. The Eudora Parks and Recreation Department gives Eudora residents and others from surrounding communities the opportunity for family-oriented activities. Visit their website at eudoraparksandrec.org to view their youth and adult programs, leagues, memberships, facilities, activity guides, and more, and follow them on all social media at Eudora Parks and Rec.
So a ridiculous shot sent us to break there, inducing a timeout from the Wildcats. And it puts us back within only 3 after just having been down by multiple shots. Back within 1, within reach. This feels like the momentum, though, was tipping a bit towards Hayden, so they'll need to grab some of that back. Certainly helpful when Osborne can get that 3 to drop, putting himself up to 22 points.
Unreal. Yeah, they're going to want to do all they can to keep the momentum from flipping here. The later we draw, the more crucial that momentum turn is going to be. The earlier they can get it, the better off.
Deister got this one to Heinen. Swizzler back for Deister against Cash Schneider. Steps to his right, spins back. Now this is Becker, and a whistle will blow for a foul on Keelan Duncan.
Cardinals, number 14.
Now Hanukkah will go back in for Heinen, and also Mitchell
number 5,
for Deister.
Number 12, Hayden Mitchell.
A lot of rotation from the Wildcats lately. Here's Hanukkah. Now Becker, who lost the handle on it against Gardner, but able to maintain it really big, and then he's slipping out of the hands of Kuda, but he also is able to keep it. Fortunate there for the Wildcats. They didn't turn that over at either opportunity. Mitchell against Schneider. Swizzler against Duncan. Jump pass, Hanukkah now for Kuda. Not really working towards the basket here, just moving it around, and why force the issue? No need to. So instead, Keelan Duncan will force the issue with his second foul, team's second. Cards might end up wanting to put the Wildcats into the bonus, but they won't want to do that immediately because of how close this one is.
Right.
Could be something, though, as time goes on, and Gardner will now get a reach-around foul. So team's third, his second. Maybe they will send them into the bonus here already.
It would seem a little bit early, though, I agree with you. But they have been not perfect from three, or from the free throw line, so that's not necessarily a team that I'm terrified of that against.
Swizzler goes in for Heinen. They've been pretty solid as a team, 10 of 14, and Hanukkah gonna bank that one in. So the lead back up to 5. Gardner for Errol Seaman. Across to Schneider, thought about the step back 3, instead dribbles in, wants to jump and shoot and score.
Really nicely done from Schneider.
He's definitely gotten that confidence boost you were looking for, just maybe not from behind the three-point line.
Right.
Beautiful bounce pass, and then another. No foul comes there.
Body's hitting the floor, though.
Figure it would have either been a block
that
or
one
a
does
charging
turn.
call. And now a whistle does blow. It's number 5, but both number 5s were involved. Do we have
Just gonna see which way it goes.
Direction indicator here? Official talking it over with the coach. And now Coach Cleveland can't believe the call, saying it's our ball, it's our ball. And now did they make the change? They do. There was confusion there because it was the number 5 against the number 5. So when we see that the foul's on 5, it doesn't really clear anything up.
1-5 received a foul, 1-5 benefited from a foul, so definitely easy to see how that one can slip.
So it is a Cardinals ball in for Schneider. 1 minute and 15 to go. Down by 3. One day after the Cardinals got a buzzer beater 3 from Osborne. A close finish again. Schneider! There's that 3 we've been waiting on! It finally comes for him, and we're tied!
Could not have come at a bigger moment either. When they needed it the most, backs against the wall. Now under a minute to go. Cash Schneider is cash money, finally.
Coach Cleveland just exploded there, clapping his hands, so happy for his team, cheering them on here. They are right on the cusp, but so are Hayden, and they're gonna turn it over.
The momentum feeling like it's flipping quick here, Reed.
Absolutely there as Heinen passed it too high. So now the Cardinals with a chance to take the lead. They've only held the lead for about a minute total all game, but maybe they'll lead here in the final moments, the final minute.
They don't ask how, man. They don't ask how.
Gardner.
Crowd trying to play a hand.
Coming to life for Hayden. And now a foul there against the Wildcats. Mitchell can't believe it. It's his third, team's third.
So, Reed, what do you think the strategy is now? Do you try to hold on to it for these last 31.6 and take a shot?
Oh, no. I don't think. I think if the right shot comes, you take
You got to
that.
take it. I agree.
Otherwise, yes. If it's not going to come, sure, slow things down, go to overtime, no problem with that. But if that opportunity comes, don't pass it up.
Even if that comes right now.
Trying to force it to Gardner, able to get it to him. He doesn't really have many options.
Wildcat defense doing everything they can to limit the shot here.
Schneider, and now Coach Cleve going to take a timeout with 12.6. So it seems like the Cardinals are slowing things down. I don't know how voluntary that was, though. It was really lockdown defense from the Wildcats. Some good atmosphere from the student section as well. So we've got a full timeout here, but too intense to let you go anywhere.
Yeah,
we'll keep you right here with 12.6 to go in regulation. Looks like we are going to see the close game, the close finish that we thought we would. It's going to be heartbreaking for someone. It's going to be absolute jubilation for another.
Oh, man.
We saw the Cardinals pull out a nail-biter win on their senior night that seemed like maybe they were going to blow it. The Wildcats look like they could maybe be the team to blow it here. But you know that their seniors are going to lock in here like they've never done before.
Yeah, it's one of two, right? It's either the Cardinals losing their regular season finale, which would be heart-crushing, or the Wildcats losing at home on their senior night in their regular season finale as well. Just setting up to be a classic here, Reed. Setting up to be an absolute classic.
The fact is there will be tears. There will be tears
absolutely.
when this one's done.
That is a certainty.
Some will be joyful, some will be sad. It'll be bittersweet no matter what for everyone on the Hayden side.
Oh, this place is erupting, Reed.
Here's Braden Gardner, one of the seniors, passes to another Watson. Schneider in space! It won't go! And to overtime, we will go!
Oh, my goodness, and the near buzzer beater did sink.
But the time had already gone, so at 48, we will see overtime. More basketball here on the senior night for the Wildcats on the regular season finale, a day after the Cardinals won by buzzer beater fashion. They couldn't do it right there from Schneider, but they'll have a chance in a fifth quarter here tonight. We'll go to a quick break. We'll be right back.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with our delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Hey. All right, so to overtime we go. It'll be a 4-minute period. There will be a jump ball to get things going between Hanukkah and Osborne. And Hanukkah, the two-inch disadvantage, able to get up there and win possession for the Wildcats. Extra basketball here. Everybody around, mixed feelings. Some feeling a little bit worn out, ready to go home, but also excited for a fascinating conclusion. If the Cardinals win, it would even out the team's record, seeing them both end at 11-9. If the Cardinals lost, they would fall to 10-10. There's a foul in the paint away from the ball. Errol Seaman fouling Connor Hanukkah. So his second.
Team fourth.
Well, it looks like the foul's maybe continuing on from the fourth quarter, so that would make it third foul for the team. Corner three won't go. Bricked back for Connor Watson, who slows things down, and the Wildcats defense backing away as he's still in the backcourt. And now a hurt player, Braden Gardner.
Oh, no.
Looks like his thigh going to limp towards Coach Steffen, who comes to him. So it'll be Micaiah Jerome to come in his place. The senior was having a nice impact in this one. had 3 points. It came on a 3 ball.
He's going to take a seat and watch the rest of this one, it looks like. Likely
Sort
had
of
the opportunity to walk off and get it checked.
Stretching out that thigh.
Never know, could have taken an awkward step, pulled something awkwardly. Hope all the best for Braden Gardner.
So it stays Cardinals ball. Here is Jerome, the substitute, another senior here. Final regular season game, feeling the moment, feeling the pressure for Schneider. Bounce pass back to Jerome, another senior. Errol Seaman, Schneider again. Oh, rolls in and out. Osborne with the powerful rebound, and he gets the score. Cardinals are first to 50.
And the major players for the Cards that we expected to have an impact, one covering for the other. Schneider can't quite make the shot. Osborne makes up for it anyways. First lead of overtime goes to the Cards.
This is Cade Mitchell, team's second highest scorer with 11 points. Kuda across for Becker. Trying to find some space against Schneider. Looking to put the handles on him. Gets some space. Some block from Hannicock.
Well done.
And he gets the points.
So well done right there. Becker did a phenomenal job to get the pick and slip through, find himself a little bit of space just like that. Can't believe we're saying it. We're tied up again. I can't believe it.
And now they do take it away here. Mitchell gives his team the lead right back. We said the Cardinals have barely led all game long, and that continues here. They only had that lead for a few seconds before it was tied back up at 50s. And now they trail again. It's the 6th lead change of this ball game. Here's Micaiah Jerome as the Hayden Wildcats get loud. Connor Watson back for Jerome. Back again, trying to find some advantage on the weak side. Schneider. Jerome really thought of the shot. Watson also drives in, out to Jerome. This time it's wide open, and he gets it! Micaiah Jerome up to 5 points for the senior. Cardinals back on top. It's a 7th lead change in this one.
There was a point earlier in this game, I believe it was late in the second quarter, where Jerome had 2 straight opportunities at a center 3, missed them both. What a moment of comeuppance for the senior.
Now what will the Wildcats do in response? Swizzler, their leading scorer, passes it for Mason Becker. Still Becker on the dribble, finds space. Oh, doesn't get it. Loose ball. Seaman fighting for it, but it's going to be last touched off of Errol Seaman.
Returning to the
So now, still the Wildcats ball, a chance to take the lead. Chance to break hearts here. Hanukkah comes off with some blood on his jersey. Don't know if that's fresh or not, but that could be a problem for him. Yeah, it is a fresh injury, so he's going to have to maybe get a new jersey or get that cleaned.
And Duncan now checking in for the Cards in place of Connor Watson.
That's why you have red jerseys. So
right.
The referee can't find out if you have a bloody nose.
Yeah, you don't have to change them. Chestnut checkers, right?
Deister inbounds to Swizzler. 1:05 is all that's left in this one.
Would we have overtime 2 if we're tied again?
I think we would.
Okay. There's no way this game could end in a tie. There's no way.
Mitchell for Becker. Short. And a rebound by Osborne. That's huge.
That is massive.
Now Micaiah Jerome finding some space. He's going to take all that he can. No shot clock. They can just kill it as much as possible. And then Schneider got closed in on. No, we've seen a foul call here against James Kuda. His first, team's 4th.
And the fresh jersey is back on. Hanukkah returns to the fold.
Wow, that was fast.
That was really fast.
Cleaned it up nice and good for him.
It was like a quick change.
And now a timeout called. In the pros, they just have a New Jersey wait for you, but not around here. You got to get that thing washed up.
This is high school, man. We do it the old-fashioned way.
So a timeout taken here with the Cardinals on top, but just by 1. It's funny, getting the 3 is obviously amazing to give them the lead, but it's so precarious now where you're in a spot where you either have the lead or you're losing.
Right.
If it were a 2-point lead, then you feel like, okay.
You can be tied.
Yeah,
yep.
But a 1-point lead it's either great or it's horrible.
Yep.
So it's a dangerous spot they find themselves in here.
Well, but on the other hand, it almost seems like this Cards team seems to kind of shine when the pressure's on, right? I mean, especially in the recent months, they seem to really, really enjoy being in the spotlight, enjoy being in these moments, especially on the road in a hostile environment. I think they love the opportunity here. They love the opportunity to come in and break some hearts on senior night.
Oh, yeah, you love to spoil a senior night, absolutely.
That'd be 2 senior night wins this year for the Cards.
Because that's the type of thing where you think, why'd you schedule us on senior night?
Right.
You thought that you could get the better of us? Nuh-uh.
Right. You thought we were an easy in, easy out. You can celebrate your night. Clearly showing the opposite tonight, the Cards are.
It'll be Jerome to inbound. It's Schneider, Osborne, Seaman, and Watson. With the lead, the Cardinals will want to hold on as long as they can, and Deister will hold on to Micaiah Jerome, committing a foul there, so that will send Jerome to the line.
Oh, these free throws are huge, right? As you said, kind of a precarious position. No, it will not be.
Not sure why it wouldn't send Jerome to the line. Was it?
Maybe the fouls did not carry over and they got left on the screen, maybe?
But here is Connor Watson driving. Osborne for 3. Won't get it, but Seaman with a massive rebound, but then loses it.
No one there.
This is going to be big for Hanukkah. He'll score, and it's an and one. Watson can't believe it. They do take the lead, and it could be a 2-point lead potentially.
Oh, my goodness. We talked about the Cards wanting to shine bright in the moment, wanting to spoil it. How badly do these Hayden Wildcats want to win this senior night? How badly do they want to show up in this moment?
Watson nearly in tears as he's hit with his 4th foul in this one.
He's laughing it off. You know that one feels huge, though.
And Hanukkah goes above 50% for the first time, now at 4 of 7. So the Cardinals down by 2 all of a sudden. It's a similar scene to yesterday, but there will be no foul here. So they're going to take as much time as they can. The Cardinals want to travel.
Not going to get it.
They won't get it. In fact, there's a timeout taken by Coach Anthony. Coach Cleveland about to come out of his skin. He was so angry that there wasn't a foul call or a travel call. And now with 10 seconds left, it's still the Wildcats' ball. There will be an inbound, which I'm sure the Cardinals will make as difficult as possible, but then they will foul right after, reluctantly so, hoping that they miss at least one to make it possible to come back.
My goodness, such a tough spot. And what an answer from the Wildcats to go from being down to almost instantly, it seemed, flipping it to now a 2-point lead with the ball. Just put themselves in a great position to try to come out of here with a win.
I'm a little bit questioning the Cardinals' decision to shoot the ball. I know that if Osborne sinks that 3, it's so big. It's everyone getting out of their seat. It feels like it's over, but there's no shot clock here. You could, as long as you can hold on to it comfortably, which they were making it really hard to.
But we've certainly seen them work around the perimeter all day long. I mean, that could have been an option.
I'm a little surprised that they decided to make that shot, but now they'll have to live with the consequences of it, see what they can do. Hayden with the ball, exactly 10 seconds on the clock here in overtime. Senior night for these Wildcats. Hanukkah gets it in for Becker, and the Cardinals immediately foul. Foul on Schneider.
That's his first. Both teams sitting at 5 now.
Becker to the line for the first time, and this one has 6 points in the game.
Cards have got to be praying for a miss here. And they get it.
He does get a miss, so that's really big. That means there's a chance.
The pulse remains. Maybe faint, but it remains.
This is an interesting spot here. Either it's a lose-lose for the Cards. Either it's a 3-point lead or he misses and the clock immediately starts running.
Got to be ready either way.
He does get it to go. So it will have to be a 3 for the Cards. And before they do that, Coach Cleveland will take his final timeout. 8.1 to go.
Man, oh man.
And because it's a full timeout, we will send you to one last break, but we'll take you back in exactly 30 seconds.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
A lot of heads shaking in the Cardinals huddle. Some are in prayer, talking this one over. Coach Cleveland drawing on his whiteboard how they're going to attack these last 8.1, their final regular season game together as a team. This group, so many fighters, so much heart. How do you pick a 5 out there to leave on the court and have some faces on the bench staring back, wishing they were out there with the chance to get this ball, get this into the basket? It's going to have to be a 3, so you have Osborne and you have Schneider and you have Jerome out there. Seaman, high pass for Osborne, and the pass to Jerome misses. And now they find some space, and they're going to put this one away. Over. The Wildcats will win on senior night. The Cardinals do have their hearts broken. They fall to 10-10. The Wildcats clutch out the senior night win in overtime. It was one where the Cardinals almost never led, but they were always right there. And they had that lead just for a moment in overtime, but could not see things out. So the Wildcats get their 12th win on the year. The Cardinals fall to 500 once again, ending the regular season at 10-10. But what a fight that was put up here tonight by both sides. The Cardinals, it just wasn't enough for the Wildcats. It will be something just like we saw against Spring Hill. These players will remember it for a long time. They'll remember it fondly. And even though it hurts for the Cardinals, you can be happy that there are some great memories that were just made here tonight for everybody on the Hayden side of things. But the Cardinals do come up short here. They've still got postseason play to come, but they get their 10th loss, their first in 4 games, and they end at 10-10. Just couldn't see it out this time around. Despite having that clutch gene, as you said, Hayden, it wasn't enough for this one. When we're back, it'll be the post-game show as we'll wrap this one up.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community. With all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve, Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jean's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jean's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Jean's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Jean's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com. The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Eudora Parks and Recreation is committed to creating community through parks, people, and programs. Their goal is to provide recreational opportunities for the community of Eudora that will enhance and promote a healthy lifestyle for all ages. The Eudora Parks and Recreation Department gives Eudora residents and others from surrounding communities the opportunity for family-oriented activities. Visit their website at eudoraparksandrec.org to view their youth and adult programs, leagues, memberships, facilities, activity guides, and more, and follow them on all social media at Eudora Parks and Rec.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Cards!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
So it's similar scenes to what we saw after the Spring Hill victory for the Cardinals. No one wants to leave here for the Hayden Wildcats, as it's a senior night sweep for them. I think that's the first time the Cardinals have been swept in a doubleheader this season. They just came up against two really tough opponents, two tough Hayden teams on the road to conclude the season. We will get going here on our post-game show brought to us by Eudora Animal Hospital. They've been serving pets in Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975 and are proud supporters of Eudora Cardinal Athletics, and everyone's still proud supporters of the Cardinals despite these two losses here today. No worries for the Cardinals, absolutely, as two really strong teams will still head into the postseasons, hopefully with their head high. Always tough when you end on a loss, but they can rewrite that in the postseason, as they will have a couple tough matchups when things get going. But 58-53, an overtime defeat here, Hayden. What's your analysis on this game?
Oh man, I'm crushed. That one felt like a game late in the fourth quarter that the Cards were really starting to get their traction and really starting to find a little bit of a flow state, a little bit of a rhythm, and man, they put themselves in such a good spot. But then again, as we mentioned in the halftime show about taking opportunities when you've got them and executing in those moments, I think the Cards are going to find themselves looking back at some of those threes, namely that Ryan Osborne three so late in the fourth quarter that bounced off, just going, man, if we sink one more of those, if Cash Schneider hits one more, if any little thing goes their way, this game could fall so differently. But that's the way these games go. Between two really close teams, we know that these are often one or two plays that decide them. And just a crazy impressive night for the Hayden Wildcats, sweeping the board, both for the guys and the girls. The girls had an unbelievable day, kind of walking all over the Eudora Cardinals on the ladies' side. But, man, this boys' game was everything we thought it was going to be, played just out as advertised. And the Cards just didn't quite have enough to hang around late. Wildcats, very likely on the tails of senior night. Those seniors and everybody else out on the court found kind of a last gear and a little bit of nitrous in the tank to mash their foot on the gas and come out with a 5-point victory on senior night and a thriller on the guys' side.
It doesn't show exactly when the Cardinals still put up 53 points in this one, but this was a very nice defensive performance, similar to the girls, not similar in quality, but that they focus on that defensive side of things. As we saw, the Cardinals were going for that attacking of the weak side, something we haven't seen them do all year long. It's not a bad strategy, but it's something different, something they haven't been doing. And while they were able to switch it, no problem, get it back and forth, they couldn't really break down them to create any real shooting opportunities for a long time. And then even when they were getting them, it felt a little forced, or it wasn't exactly what they wanted, or even if it was maybe something they wanted. We saw Schneider and Osborne get open a lot. They weren't converting. So
Wasn't a great night.
So the Wildcats were doing enough, and the Cardinals just couldn't break them down. They sort of went away from that switching of play as time went on in the game, but just nothing really worked for them. Nothing caught fire. They weren't bad. They had the lead multiple times. This game had 8 lead changes in the end, but they never really sat out in front. And then there's the overtime period. You could put the question marks on why did they shoot. They wanted to try and put the dagger in, and they sort of got bit for it. But
live by the sword, you die by the sword to an extent. They wanted to play by that aggression, and some days it worked, some days it didn't. Didn't quite work today.
Yeah, they went for that best form of offense is offense, and it just didn't hit for them. But it was a really fun night, but they do come up short here. Let's get some points tallies. I'm a couple points short on the boys' side, so I missed one 2-point basket for the Cards, but unofficial tallies: Micaiah Jerome with 5, Braden Gardner with 3, Ryan Osborne with 24, Cage Crable with 5, Connor Watson with 2, and Cash Schneider with 12. On the Hayden side of things, James Kuda put up 7, Jacob Deister put up 8, Connor Hanukkah with 10, Cade Mitchell with 11, Mason Becker with 7, and Cooper Swizzler with a team-leading 15 here on senior night for him. So a strong performance there to get the 58-53 win. What do you make of the decision to shoot there with the 2 points at the, I think it was maybe 15 seconds. I'm not even.
I believe so.
Something like that. What do you make of that?
I don't love it, but at the same time, I can absolutely understand in that moment why they felt kind of pressure to take that shot. I mean, getting clear opportunities, especially up in the paint, had come at such a premium all night. And when it comes to shooting from three, they hadn't necessarily been anywhere near as effective or as potent as you would normally expect them to be. So I don't necessarily hate the decision to take the shot, but it does certainly, you look back on it not quite favorably, knowing how it ended up playing out. And especially, like you said, with no shot clock, they could have ran that thing down all the way to the end and tried to take a last shot. But shots have been coming at such a premium all night. I can understand why they may have felt like it wouldn't necessarily be a given that they'd get to take it.
Well, and of course, Osborne going to back himself in a clutch moment from three after literally yesterday getting a buzzer beater game winner from behind by 2. Of course, he's going to trust himself in that big moment to get what would have been just so big for crushing the hearts of the Wildcats, but instead it cost the Cardinals. And so they do end up losing here. I mean, I think even still, we have to probably pick him as player of the game for a 24-point performance.
Side note, how crazy is it that Cash Snyder had 12 today?
Yeah.
With as many missed threes and as many what-ifs as it seems like he's got. Still double digits today.
I think some other players to look at would be Crable, had a very nice game, putting up the 5 points. Jerome put up 5. I loved Gardner's role. I don't know if it's a player of the game role, but I loved his role in the game.
Yeah.
He got that 3. There's a lot of minutes for the senior. Thankfully, we are not done here on the season. We'll see you in postseason play. But that is it for the regular season. We can reflect on the girls' game a little bit more now here, just while we're here, before we go ahead and get going, because I think that's a big moment. That's a scary score when you look at it and add it to the list of the ways that this game has gone. We said it. They weren't really favored. They were just technically ranked higher, but it was two teams that were expected to be really competitive. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals, they really weren't. They didn't get to show up at all. They were limited, and it just wasn't their game. What do you make of that for heading into the postseason?
Well, I don't think, first of all, I don't think it's going to have this detrimental impact. I don't think it's going to crush the team or anything like that, because we did see this to a lesser extent, but we did see them go into a championship game in a tournament weekend where they'd played relatively well, had pretty high aspirations coming into it, had championship aspirations as, I believe, the 1 seed in that tournament, and they came in and just got bulldozed, got walked all over by St. James, and you and I kind of voiced that same concern, that it very well, we feared a little bit that the team may lose a little bit of that fire and kind of sink into the way they had played in that game, and that wasn't the case at all. If anything, they may have been even more dominant since that tournament in January than they were up to that point even. But I think this one's definitely going to sting for a little bit. There will be, there's going to be days where you look back at this one and how to improve, but also you got to think a lot of these players, namely players like Bryn Dieterding, who never really got rolling, Ava Dye as well, are going to be looking at it going, what more could we have done? They'll be looking at it going, I should have made that, could have done that. But at the end of the day, sometimes you have bad games, and when you play against really, really strong opponents, you can't play your best in every match that you play, and today was one where they just kind of got. But I think going into the postseason, they are going to regroup. This is a team with a lot of mental resilience, a lot of players who are, for lack of a better term, absolute warriors when it comes to, playing through ailments or discomfort.
Yeah, I was going to say there were clearly a lot of injuries out there for this Lady Cards team. Those have really accumulated as the season has gone on.
I think namely Ava Dye and Izzy Brunkow, where both of them, we had seen, I believe it was in the Ottawa game, at Ottawa, where Izzy Brunkow went down and actually went out of the game for a little bit, returned with an ankle brace, and played almost like you couldn't even tell she was hurt the rest of the game. But you've got to think, playing every single week, multiple times a week even, that kind of thing never really gets a chance to heal. She's definitely still wearing a brace on that ankle. And Ava Dye as well, same thing in the tournament, had sustained a foot injury and has been playing through that likely in the same way. Never really got to heal from it. But these players are absolute warriors. I think going into the postseason, I think we're going to see a lot more of what we've seen most of the year. But you've got to think now that's sitting in the minds right. Going into higher profile games against higher profile opponents, that might kind of sink in now that they've played 2 games against really nice teams and kind of fallen flat in both.
Yeah, and at this point, off camera, something that we see regularly now is Ava Dye and Bryn Dieterding both sporting boots whenever they're not playing, which just tells you that this whole team, Izzy Brunkow, Ava Dye, Bryn Dieterding,
they're beat up.
They're all playing through injury, and they're still putting up such a great fight, being such a great team. So hopefully they'll be maybe a little bit rested and able to find the positives in this performance here today as they do go into the postseason. They'll go in as one of the higher-ranked seeds, so they'll get a favorable matchup to get things going, and we will be there for it as best as we can. So that should do it here for today. We said the player of the game, right? We did say that was going to be Osborne for our
barbed
wire barbecue. Who's smoking player of the game? Yeah, I mean, with the 24 points, just had to be.
So I hadn't marked it, but that is official. Ryan Osborne, player of the game. Heck of a performance today.
So that will do it for us. An overtime defeat for the Cardinals. A lot of fun. Thank you for spending your Thursday night with us here in Top City. For Hayden Harves and Reed McAvoy, go Cardinals, and good night.